All right, welcome to Three Boys, One Couch. I'm here with Jaden.
Yee!
I got Calvin over here.
Thanks for having me back. Or I guess I'm just here. Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah.
You're always back, man.
I'll be back
You're
for a while.
literally back every single episode.
Yeah. And we're doing a commentary on Dune tonight. This is kind of a little bit in prep for the Denis Villeneuve version of Dune that's coming out. Yeah, so this is the 1984 version of Dune.
Dune.
Yeah. And so normally I like to kind of evaluate what's happening on screen and give like my opinion on framing and things like that. But tonight we're watching Dune, so I just have a beer with me because
You don't need to.
I need something to get me
bring that
through this.
perspective into this because there's none of that going on in
Yeah,
this.
no, this movie fucking sucks.
I just don't know how I was thinking like, God, we really have to watch this again.
You suggested this.
I know. I hadn't seen it yet.
We were just
bad.
gonna do a review on the new Dune coming out, and you're like, we should do a commentary on
Yeah.
Dune, and I was like, are you sure?
Like, how bad could it be? Oh my God. Buckle up because it's about to be 2 hours and 16 minutes of unadulterated
Shoot yourself in the head, yeah.
Okay, so we're about to start. Shit. Okay.
We are starting 3, 2, 1.
Okay, well, we're already starting.
Okay, it is
We're
already
at,
gone. Yeah, we're at the Universal symbol.
we're at
We're
10
not-
seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds in, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and this is the Blu-ray. I know this at the time of recording. This is on HBO as well.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it
HBO
is.
Max, to be more specific.
Right.
Okay, so this is weird to me. So this film dedicated to Federico de Laurentiis. So Dino de Laurentiis presents it. I don't know who this is. There's another de Laurentiis somewhere else mentioned. I honestly feel like this wasn't even like a studio project.
It's like he put it together. Like,
Yeah, like he was just like, here's a book, make this into a movie. Like my kid wants this as a bedtime story. I want you to make a movie. And
I thought his
this-
name was Dino.
I love this opening. I think toss out Star Wars. That's trash compared to this. This is like one of the most amazingly awkward openings to a film I've ever seen.
She's just looking right at you.
My jaw dropped instantly. I was like, no. We're not going to start with this weird background monologue. Like, okay, she fades out
This
here.
is my favorite part coming up.
And it expands consciousness. Perfect. Let's start. Why are you back?
Why did she fade out of the screen and then back in?
It gets even better. Like it's just such an awkward beginning.
Yeah, maybe they thought like she's a star as well. Let's visually represent her by fading in and out, which I don't remember that part. Is that folding space? Was that a thing that happened
in the book?
Yeah. I'm almost positive that's not the case.
I don't believe
I think
so.
the guild just
This is
owned
my
all the
favorite part.
ships.
She comes back. She's like, "Oh yeah, by the way,
tell you.
it's like just have it be a part of the dialogue. Just have her
Yeah.
deliver one thing." I love that she leaves. She's like, "Oh, I forgot." I wonder if she like actually forgot the line. You just had the camera. She's like, "Oh, I forgot." And they're like,
Yeah.
"That's a wrap. That's a good take."
That's all we got for today. No, we'll fix it in post. I feel like that was their approach this entire film.
Yeah, I'm not fucking working on this for real.
Yeah.
What were you guys thinking?
That's how a lot of this film feels because there's a lot of that narration in it, like that inner monologue.
Oh yeah, when the first one comes up, I was just like, I had a visceral reaction to.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, but like the first time it happened, I like had a visceral like, no, that's a reason you don't do that.
You're like, this is just going to be a little bit, right? Like maybe just Paul has the internal like dialogue.
Yeah.
Every character has it, and it's so weird.
And I knew it was going to be like obviously it was going to be a problem when you come to it, when you adapt. Like you're reading the book, you knew this was going to be a problem adapting, because how do you create inner monologues? It's because you don't create the same dialogue in a film, because you have the different music composed and performed by Toto. Why?
How amazing is that?
I mean,
There's
like,
definitely no reins here.
Yeah. The opposite.
well, that's, why didn't they have that at the end? Now that I think about that, that would have been perfect.
Oh my god, that would have been
Did that
so
movie
good.
come? Well, did that song come out now though? Because this is 1984.
I have no idea when that song came out, but I would assume before this movie, because who knew about Toto before that song?
That's probably.
There's
true.
also a toilet brand that makes toilets named Toto.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And every time I flush it, I'm like, catch the waves down in Africa.
That's such a weird song that the internet just really latched onto, huh?
It's a good song. I know you hate it.
It's very
Okay, yeah. See, it was released in 1982.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they should have had that song.
Oh,
play.
absolutely. The only thing this film could have done right, and they still missed it. What does this even mean?
So, I don't want to get too much into the book. I know Calvin and I had finished it, and Jane, you're had been working on it.
Pretty close to be done.
But this is and again, I think you can give an adaptation, and that's fine. But kind of what leads into all this is these alien creatures that do not appear in the book at all.
Yeah,
the guild is not creatures. At least it's never.
they're just people.
Yeah.
They're just the only thing that's different about them is they themselves are a little bit. They've partaken of the spice as well, so they're a little bit different. They have some sense of whatever Paul deals with. It seems I feel like that's implied, but not like this. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not completely different creatures.
I do love
the reason,
this part, though. This is like a matte painting. I think it's so good.
Yeah, that's so awesome. But the reason the guild exists in the book is because they just have a monopoly on all of the ships. Nobody actually owns their ships for interplanetary and interstellar travel. So
They're
that's
not
why
some
they exist.
higher being or other species. That's this uses
Oh, look at the dogs.
What is with the
Yeah.
bulldogs?
This uses the aliens are kind of the means of the transport, which is weird.
Yeah.
I think maybe David Lynch thought this isn't sci-fi enough, even though this is one of the most well-known sci-fi epic books ever written.
Right. Maybe next to Foundation.
Yeah, it's you know what? I got to amp it up a little more. Let's put some aliens in it. I don't think it
War of
works.
What a way to
Yeah.
remove her cape.
Yeah.
Just drop it in the middle of the floor.
Oh,
Gosh.
the Padishah Emperor, man.
Why did we cut back to this of them walking off the ship again? There's no that's not
know.
unnecessary.
People didn't know how to make movies back then, Calvin.
Oh my gosh.
Just like in the 80s, everyone forgot how to make movies.
Yeah, I honestly think that. I still have not seen I was holding out hope maybe Blade Runner. Blade Runner is a good movie. Wow. It's not as bad as this, but it's not. It's certainly no feat of
To
film.
talk to anybody who grew up in the 80s, you're we had the best movies. You guys literally have the worst movies to ever be made.
Yeah. Of an entire decade filled with the worst movies ever made. The only films that are any good from that time period were not in America because
there was Star Wars, so
that's also abjectly horrible. I don't think of it as being that much better than Dune, honestly. Because obviously no one knew how to write scripts at all.
Let's we got the most famous line from Star Wars, 1983, I think, or 82, Empire Strikes Back, and where everyone says it wrong.
Yeah, it's one of those Mandela effects.
Yeah.
Or Mandela effects. Just like the one with Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Which one?
Everyone thinks he says, "Yeah, science, bitch."
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just, "Yeah, Mr. White. Yeah, science." But it combined into the just threw bitch at the end because that's a very Jesse thing to say.
Yeah, he would say bitch all the time.
Yeah.
He really doesn't say bitch after that?
He literally doesn't say bitch after that.
I fucking hate that now.
Yeah.
Why would they not do that?
Okay, so yeah. So now we're back to
This
Dune.
thing is
What the
fucking disgusting.
heck is this?
It's like a floating ball sack.
Yeah. And it's breathing something. I just really don't. I don't know why we're even fixated on the fact that it has a little scrotal mouth.
Yeah.
What is that?
It literally looks like
small.
a gigantic testicle. Dude.
Yeah. And the small. It's literally a gooch because there are the testicles.
Yeah,
And there's the
there's
small anus.
this-
It's kind of puck.
So his
winking at
body
you.
is the penis.
Yeah. And he's
So
terrified.
this is an upside down penis and butthole situation.
I love looking those are those are
That's the situation.
Yeah.
So I do kind of thinking, how was this movie received when it came out? So Roger Ebert has a review and he says, "It took Dune about 9 minutes to completely strip me of my anticipation. This movie is a real mess." So I'm
Where are
we're
we
not
at
just
right now?
bashing
Yeah.
80s movies. This is, critics of the day, a contemporary article also doesn't receive it that well.
Yeah,
And
we're
I'm not gonna
literally,
spend the whole time bashing this because I think this movie is interesting enough to sit down and talk about because there is so much weird stuff like this alien and what are you doing here? Why is this in it? There's a lot of, I won't say entertaining but interesting parts of it. But
Yeah,
it is interesting to think of like this wasn't even like really looked at critically as a great movie when it came out either.
Yeah, we're at 8 minutes and 52 seconds right now. Yeah, and so I have nothing short of horrible things to say about this.
Yeah,
film.
it's probably.
So,
I'm probably gonna be bashing on it the whole.
I don't know if there's anything interesting to say about like. First of all, why we framed him in the middle of the frame like this? Like, why is he center? Like, it's not interesting composition, and then we're just like he's like shrouded in his own like penis breath, like.
Well, and then we talked about being
it's magma fucking cloud.
It's a magma cloud.
oh my god.
And that's why all of the other ones are all like oily.
I think Roger Ebert is exactly right though. Like you are stripped of any anticipation. This alien like just spells out. He's like, you need to kill Paul because Paul's going to be a real problem later. And then what happens? They don't kill Paul. Paul's a real problem later. It's like cool. Now I don't need to watch the movie anymore.
Yeah.
So that's it for Three Boys One Couch. We're wrapping this one up. Thank you for listening. I like a lot of I think one thing I can take away, I think some of especially this part has cool costumes. I like that
But the trash bags with
why are they
colors?
vacuuming up like all
I
of
do
the
think
goop?
that's
all the leftover smegma.
They're all just wearing condoms.
I mean the Emperor, I think it's cool. He's in like a military uniform, and then the Bene Gesserit, I think she's got a cool headdress on. I think there's there's neat costumes in this at least.
I think it's
some of the
weird.
sets are done pretty well. I think some of the sets are trash, but then I think like this one, there's kind of a level of decadence.
I don't
to
even
it.
think they're wearing bald caps. I think all these chicks shaved their heads.
I don't know. I think it's pretty easy to make a bald cap look authentic.
Okay, Calvin, we gotta get this out of the way early. Are you gonna say Harkonnen or Harkonnen this whole time?
Harkonnen?
Ugh, gross.
I mean, I said it.
I would say it too. I feel like.
I said it Harkonnen like throughout the whole reading the book, but I know that was probably not the correct one. But they really stress the Harkonnen
In this,
which is irritating because there's no other like vocal affect that you would consider that to be normal in any of these characters. You know, like they don't have an accent where we stress other syllables like that. So why are we being so goofy about it here?
Yeah.
Like we say Atreides, like there's literally no accent in the way we said that, which is wild to me because that's more. I mean, to me that sounds Latin. Like I would imagine there would be there would be more stress on Atreides in a way that Harkonnen feels normal to English speaking.
Dude, this thing he's using is even as advanced as a fucking iPad.
And we just saw.
It's like an Etch-a-Sketch for like that's.
See, and this is that internal monologue. Dude, this is like a total miscast to me. It's Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, McLaughlin.
McLachlan? Okay.
Yeah.
He's way too old. And I guess
He's not even that old. Like when this film came out, I think he was only like 22 or something.
He looks old as shit.
Yeah, he looks the same. But like
Timmy
this is just, like-
Chalamet still looks like he's like 14.
Yeah,
which is the point. I think the book Paul is like 16 or 17, isn't he? And again, you don't have to make it exactly like the book, but I think part of kind of the appeal of that story is like this is a kid who then kind of grows up with the Fremen and kind of adopts that culture. If you have like a grown ass man doing it, it's not like it doesn't like hit the same way, I think.
I don't know. I actually find a lot of the
Look at that guy's eyebrows.
Yeah.
And we get Patrick Stewart here.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's in this movie.
It's wild to me too because Gurney Halleck was described as being horribly ugly.
Gurney Halleck?
Yeah, that's.
I thought it was Gurney Halleck.
It's probably.
We're gonna find out a lot of different pronunciations and stuff in this.
If you listen to our Midsummer, okay, this was okay. The first one, this one, I was like, when Thafir was like, oh yes, perhaps it could. What the hell? Like, there's the difference when you're having someone like have like an internal like monologue by themselves. I don't know. I can't think of that many movies where someone's thoughts were projected onto their image within like a dialogue sequence. Yeah. It's not a thing for film because you don't need it.
No, it's weird as hell.
I love what he says about moods for cattle and love, but like it's so funny.
I love how he also walked in with his instrument, like just so everybody knows I'm Gurney, like, and that's all.
Yeah, I think that's clearly for anyone who's a fan of the book. That way you just get that one little bit. Apparently in the new movie, he's supposed to be more a part of the character. He's actually going to play and sing. So
That would be great. Like
that's
feels
actually
like,
a part of the character. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it builds like. Also, why did they even decide to?
This is the dumbest looking shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's like it is so goofy. It looks like a
Roblox or something.
yeah.
Yeah, or like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Like that's what's going on screen.
And it's like, why would you choose to
Do this at all ever?
let's use an effect that distorts the image so much that you can't even tell what's going on?
Yeah,
It's so odd to me. Like, and again,
Then you guys really don't even have to act if you don't wanna.
that's what I do. I honestly think this whole movie is like an exercise in a director trying to get his actors to do as little as possible.
Yeah.
Because I really think when you move further on, there's a lot more internal dialogue and like that kind of internal narration.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like, just say the line. It doesn't matter. We'll have you come in and we'll have you do the internal part, and then you can actually like that way the audience will know what you mean and how you feel.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to emote or do anything
Yeah.
because we'll just fix it with a voiceover later. I think this movie is a excellent example of like
Patrick Stewart still looks
minimalist
the
acting.
fucking same.
yeah.
It's like
Well,
40
not even,
years
like-
ago.
Not even like minimalist acting. It's like because there's a way to be minimalist and say a lot. They're just like, okay, we just look like you're thinking a thought, something like this line. Well, why
Yeah.
didn't I just say that line? Like
Barely
no,
that.
That's
Like,
stupid.
It's
No, we're not
barely
gonna-
even. It's
Why don't I
like,
just say the line? That's dumb. You're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. This is a thought. You don't say thoughts.
yeah. There's so much of this. I'm just like, why? Just have your actors act. No one acts in this except for Patrick Stewart. I'll never knock him.
And this, I don't
I'll
understand
knock
why.
him for being in this movie. Don't do it.
But yeah, I don't understand why we need to describe all of the backstory of the things, like in general. You know, like you don't need to know the ecology of the entire
They're
planet.
so sweaty.
You know, I think it's meant to like UA's meant to look sweaty because he's nervous because he's about to.
Well, him
betray
and
it,
Patrick
you know?
Stewart, I thought it was because they just fought.
Yeah, at least him. Oh yeah, and same with.
Yeah, they are dripping. But yeah, no, I totally agree.
That's
Colin.
also
It's like,
not some-
everything is just told to you. Like this movie is exposition on top of exposition.
And it's unnecessary because it's not something we ever revisit, really. Like it's not something you need to know. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole point of why there's an appendix in the back of the book. Is
Right.
if you want to know more about the Fremen religion, here's that. Here's a map if you want it. It's not necessary. It's just this is the world that I've built, and David Lynch clearly doesn't understand how to use his cameras here.
Like, how terrible. It's
My
just a
boy.
terrible thing.
It's so goofy.
Oh, and then this.
The weirding. Their weirding.
The
weapons.
weirding way. Apparently, David Lynch didn't think that the weirding way would be something that would translate
Translate?
well to film.
Okay.
So he's like, why don't we just make them this goofy sound things? And I can't wait to get to the part where they're riding the worms at the end because
Oh my God.
does that go on for far too long? But it's just so stupid.
It's so goofy. Yeah, I didn't like the weirding weapon thing they have. I was like, this is silly.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's also another penis.
Entering.
Yeah.
You know, entering the scene.
It's a cat penis with those barbs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, isn't that wild how they work? Oh my goodness.
Why do we need to show those?
Yeah,
things?
why?
Why is he wearing like a?
He changed
a straight,
so
He's wearing
fast,
like
yeah.
a straight jacket that isn't buckled in. Is what it looks like.
Do you think someone's just in the back just humming right now?
Yeah, it's all dubbed over.
Hey, do you guys remember that scene in Star Wars where Luke is using his lightsaber against the robot? Let's do that.
But let's make it
Way worse.
less cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just gonna have.
Like, look
this
how
giant, like-
unimpressed the guy with the eyebrows is. He's like, yeah, this scene blows.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, shot up the little thing.
Oh, do
What
a flip.
is this?
Well, and I'm not. I think you bring up that scene, Jaden. It's supposed to be a joke, but like the other thing is like Luke is so much more interesting. Like you've got a
Yeah.
lot more background on him. Like he's had this tragedy happen to him, and now he's going to space and he's trying to find himself.
Yeah.
So this is like a part of his journey building up to him become a Jedi. This is just like we got a bunch of internal like dialogue, and we got everything just kind of told to us like right up front.
Yeah, it's just
So
a history
I
lesson.
don't care that he's
Yeah.
fighting a drone. In the book, it's really interesting.
It is. It's cool in the book.
It's like Gurney's like really trying to like take it to him because he really wants Paul to be ready for Arrakis.
Yeah.
And like all the danger it's going to be there. In this scene, it's just a goofy drone scene.
And they're like
It's weird.
let's get everybody in on this scene. Let's have everybody walk in a straight line into the room, which is so weird. Just so we can introduce all of our characters. It's ridiculous.
I am so glad that Duncan Idaho is not going to be portrayed by that guy again.
yeah.
He looks like an accountant.
That's who Jason Momoa was playing.
Yeah,
there,
that's-
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
should
imagine
be
him
kind of a badass warrior.
Yeah.
And
I
think,
kind of imagine him just like being kind of like a dirty, like guerrilla type fighter.
yeah, because he gets to Arrakis first,
Which
and-
like Jason Momoa was played before.
Yeah.
So
and so he like lives with the
That's
Fremen
Sweet
for a
Girl.
while.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. I
does
was
the whole
about to
thing.
say like he knows what he's doing from Sweet Girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But the Duncan
Is this
in
value
one-
brand Willem Dafoe right here? What is this?
Holy hell, that's such a good way to describe it. Oh my god.
Is that?
That's Leto.
Yeah. What is that? What is that actor's name?
Jürgen Prochnow?
Why can I not find that? I think it's so strange sometimes how they list the.
I did say that I like the costumes. I would have. These are too much like what the Emperor's wearing. I would have liked. I think one thing that's going to pop up in the new movie is every house kind of has their own look,
Yeah.
and I wish they kind of would have gone further with that in this, because they look really similar.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Like I think the costumes themselves are already just a step above what we see here. Because it just feels like, I mean, what
So
was
sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's sweaty. I mean, the budget for this movie was 40 to 42 million. Apparently, it only made 35-ish million.
That's what I'm saying. We're ripping 80s movies. I feel like we have a couple other 80s podcast movies coming out, and we're like, they're kind of a little goofy, a little campy, but there's like some charm to some of them. This one kind of doesn't have that. It's kind
It
of
just fucking stinks.
it's either goofy or it's boring. Like
Yeah, it fluctuates between sometimes it's at the same time. Like it's goofy and boring.
here we have Sting.
Yeah, exactly.
Sting is
Why
in this
was he just
movie.
there?
Yeah, and I love like he's the second moon, and he's just like narrating his dreams. Like this is not the language of film. Like you show montages like this, we understand what's going on the screen, and we will see all of these things later. We don't need him to be like, oh, a second moon.
Well, dude, I want a hoodie with a hood like that. That thing is
pretty cool.
bitching.
Right? Isn't that dope?
Yeah.
I think we've watched movies that set up stuff that makes it intriguing later. Like
Okay, I also hate this. No man has ever been tested with the box, which is this film itself contradicts itself.
no, men have been tested because they need to find the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
they literally say that later in this film, so it's not even canon to this film
Yeah.
version of Dune.
What she should have said is every man who's been tested has died, not
Yes.
no man has been tested. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. Just wanted to point that out.
No, you're absolutely right. David Lynch really took a day off on this one.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, yeah. Really, everyone really showed up at the box office too. Yeah, so and okay, so this is like necessary exposition. I understand what's going on here.
Her hair is dope.
Yeah, her hair is dope.
That's what I'm saying. There's enough interesting visual elements to this film, and I think the way the score is used is fascinating. It's so odd at certain points,
This is terrible.
but then you get
Yeah, why is he muttering his
Arrakis, Dune, desert planet.
moving? What? Why?
Yeah, you definitely look like you were just sleeping.
Yeah, I mean he's sweaty enough to have been.
Yeah, why is everybody so sweaty?
All
which is
the
weird because
time.
they're not even to Arrakis yet. They're on like a lush planet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they're just humid.
they make a point to be like talk about how much water there is there, and then how little water Arrakis has,
Yeah.
and how big of a change it is for him. You know,
I also don't understand why they're literally talking right in front of him. Like, oh, there's no chance he could possibly be awake right now.
Yeah,
or we could possibly wake him
It's like
up.
the parents and the witch. It's like, oh, you can't hear us because I asked if you were awake.
Yeah, and they
You
don't
didn't respond.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Look, he's even got his eye open.
yeah, exactly. And for like,
she's staring right at him. Like she's still just staring. Like you guys are making eye contact right now.
and I mean, like, this is supposed to be like whoever, I can't remember the what's her name, the Reverend Mother or
Reverend Mother,
whatever.
yeah.
I know she has a name or whatever, but like she's supposed to be like a really intelligent being. Like, what is she doing? Like giving deep, like secrets of the universe to a boy that's a problem to the secrets of the universe.
That's Sylvana
Stop. Yeah.
Mangano. Mangano. Sylvana Mangano.
Why is he repeating everything we just heard? That's the thing. Another thing I have a problem with this film is like, how many times do we need to hear the same thing we just heard 5 seconds ago repeated as if it didn't mean anything before?
Yeah, like he already had Paul already had the scene where he's
And they're
studying
really about
Arrakis and
bulldogs
talking
in this
about
movie.
the he's talking about desert planet and all that, and then he's doing it again in his sleep. It's like, we know.
Yeah,
We just
honestly,
saw it.
they could have cut out like 45 minutes from this movie if they just didn't repeat lines.
They could have cut out like 2 hours and 16 minutes of this movie.
Oh my god!
I love it when you make that joke. It's funny every time.
Yeah,
Anytime it's a bad movie, cut the whole thing. Don't even make it.
it's like, oh, I bought the critics cut of Dune. It just ends after the Paramount.
Yeah, it's like,
intro.
thank you for your money. We will take this donation and try to make a better movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just whisper.
Again, like, and another hallmark of bad movies is they're so concerned with throwing all of this stuff together. Oh yeah, the voice. Why did they
Yeah,
decide to
what
like?
is going on? She's using the voice.
Oh no. No. What? It just, I don't understand. Like,
yeah,
why? Like,
this whole movie is just them thinking. Just don't even talk at all. Just
Yeah.
everyone just stand there. It'd probably be better.
absolutely. Like, it's like the concept of people having body language is completely lost.
Dude,
on-
look at he just looks like a fucking board walking around.
I'd say
Yeah.
there's no acting in this movie. No one acts.
Do you see this?
the box.
Put your right hand in the box.
What's in the box?
It's my dick in a box.
No, I was thinking of Seven.
Oh.
Have you seen
Yeah, yeah.
Seven?
No.
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt.
Yeah, with Brad Pitt. And he's like, what's in the box? What's in the box?
You haven't seen that? Morgan Freeman and Kevin Spacey?
Nope.
He's like the murderer who has he set up all like the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay, that's a good movie.
Spoiler, it was his wife's
Kevin
head in the
Spacey's
box.
a terrible person? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and everyone knew that was what was in the box. It was just
Dude,
like,
so I watched Baby Driver for the first time right after learning about Kevin Spacey, and then I was like, oh, he's just so creepy in this now.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's really like,
Stop talking to Ansel Elgort like that. Stop it.
I wish they made the Gonja bar look cooler. It's just like, it looks like a thimble with like a little needle on it.
Yeah.
Like, I think they could do something cooler than that.
yeah. I don't think that the new one looks much different. 'cause
It's
I've
like a
seen-
needle. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what it's supposed to look like. But this looks very cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It burns. I also don't remember that phrase being like so often repeated. Fear is
He
the
says it
mind
a couple
killer.
times in the book.
Yeah, but like not in like such a melodramatic. It was never at times like this. It was always like talking about like the Ben Gesserit way in general, not necessarily like a mantra for whenever he's in trouble. You know?
yeah, I think it's used more as like maybe a reflective tool, like to make sure like he as a character is like gonna push himself to get through a situation. Not necessarily like I need to repeat this mantra to not feel pain. She just had an orgasm.
The pain.
That's what her face looks like.
Yeah, it did.
Leads her head
Yeah,
back.
vinegar strokes for sure, dude.
Vinegar strokes. I forgot that was a thing.
You know that that emoji where the dude's like eyebrows are all weird and he like kind of looks like he's drunk almost?
Yeah, yeah, I know. What you
Okay,
mean.
well, every time I use that, I use it as vinegar strokes
That's
face.
funny.
Yeah.
Watching this movie just makes me really excited to see how Denis Villeneuve's version is going to look. Because I know it's going to be better, but I'm just
Hard to be worse.
I'm just interested to be like, what's another take on this going to be? Because this cannot be the definitive Dune film anymore.
No, it can't.
It's had dominion over that for far too long.
Well, I don't think so, because I think there's another version, like Jodorowsky's Dune.
I know there was one that was going to come out and it got canceled.
I thought it did come out though.
I might be talking about a different one. I just know that there was a canceled version.
It might have been like a smaller, like it might have been like a mini series. I don't remember, but I know that most people think of that as being a better version.
I know that there is a series coming out on HBO Max, I think.
Yeah,
Children of Dune or something like that. Or maybe Children of Dune is the movie I'm thinking of. I don't know. I know there's supposed to be
Children
more
of Dune,
stuff
I think,
coming
is
out.
like it's like the third book or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
We're clearly not experts on the world.
I'm not a
of
big
Dune.
buff on it. I read the book and I liked it.
Yeah.
That's about it,
I mean,
They tried and died.
dying, failing. It's just. I mean, they literally said that, like, if you pulled your hand out, you would fail, you would die.
She has to, like, you have to have that inner monologue. My son lives.
Like,
Why?
yeah, like you couldn't read that on her face, or just assume like she's a mother and like,
She's happy that her son's not dead.
yeah,
That's a crazy thing. Make sure the audience fucking knows.
right. Like,
I genuinely think like David Lynch was like, no, too much emotion.
Yeah.
We're doing that afterward.
Yeah.
We're just going to say it later. We're just going to do that in post. Like,
you know what? I almost wonder too, though, is if like maybe they did shoot all of this without dialogue or like the inner monologues, and then the De Laurentiis, whatever the production company, like, just not enough inner monologue. Like, where's
I actually like this come up. It's just a creepy imagery, like like the mouth, the exhaust coming out. I actually like this is one of the scenes I look at. I'm like, this is actually like interesting to look
Yeah,
at.
it's like Danny's Dream in Midsummer.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
It is kind of like that.
which is weird. Like, I don't know why anyone would design a structure to look like a double chin.
Look at this guy.
Man, why do all of the mentats have eyebrows like that?
Yeah.
Like, why is that a thing? I don't
that's,
remember that in the book.
That's
Okay, so this is like,
that's Grima Wormtongue.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's
Isn't that
exactly-
crazy?
yeah.
They have the guy who plays Peter De Vries, however they say it
I
here,
thought it was Peter de Vries.
which I just think is wrong. Like, Piter is not Peter.
All my pronunciation comes from listening to the audiobook. So however that guy chose to read it is how I will always hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when you say it, I'm like, Calvin's wrong.
yeah.
And even with this movie, when they say Harkonnen, I'm like, that's not it. It's Harkonnen. I don't think they've said it in any of the trailers for the new one either. So I wonder if they've said Harkonnen or Harkonnen. I don't know.
I haven't noticed. I don't like a lot of the trailers though. They don't feel like they have a lot of weird dialogue in them. They don't feel like Denis movies, like lines Denis would have in his movies, other than Arrival, because that was really not a.
This is like a huge studio movie. And so that probably they have a bit to say in terms of like how it's put out and
Gross.
how it's marketed. So, ooh, they're so creepy. See, this is what I'm saying. There's some
What is the
creepy
point
80s
of
stuff
this?
in this. Like,
What is the point of this? I don't know, Calvin.
because then he's like taking the
he's
youth-
got
the
bad
youthful blood and
herpes.
stuff.
This is just so. This just straight up feels like a scene out of Willy Wonka.
What the fuck? Hey, speaking of Willy Wonka and Dune, Timmy Chalamet is
Yeah,
going to be playing young Wonka or whatever.
Oh,
that's
really?
yeah, that's really interesting. I think I don't really care for like reboots and like I want original material, but like I think that's a nice casting.
I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. If they're going to pick anybody, because they wanted him to be Spider-Man too, but then they cast Tom Holland instead. Because he said, I don't want to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is Kenneth McMillan playing the Baron, and he's just so over the top in this. It's like wild. Like,
Why is he
I guess-
wearing a cup on the outside of his pants? And
why
obviously
are
that
both
dude
of
has a
them?
smaller dick than him because his cup is way smaller.
because it's sci-fi, man.
What are they looking at?
I
too?
don't
Like,
know. Why
I
are they
like-
looking like that?
I can't figure out. Well, I mean, like Sting's looking one way, Raban is looking another way, and neither of them are at the camera, or it seems that the Baron.
That guy looks like the guy on the left looks like a. Oh man, this is gonna sound bad. Why I can't remember him? That guy from like Groundhog Day.
Oh, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Why can't I remember? He looked like a redheaded Bill Murray.
So that is actually what is his name? So he's actually the dude from Eraserhead. He's also in Twin Peaks as Pete Mortell.
A bit of Twin Peaks alumni in this, I guess.
A bit.
Yeah.
There are a lot. Yeah.
This is disgusting.
Oh, Jack Nance. Jack Nance as is his name, the one that you were referring to.
Bill Murray just became part of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 cast as well.
Oh, look at that.
Why?
I kind of hate how they play up how like you know they're bad guys because how gross they are.
Yeah.
There's zero nuance to this movie at all.
Yeah.
Like they're
Stop.
We know they're bad
showing
because they're
this.
gross, and that's like it. Like you could make these characters interesting by there's gonna be a huge like exposition dump in this scene explaining why the Harkonnens are coming after the Atreides, and it's gonna explain their
That
whole
guy's
plan.
literally wearing trash bags.
But the whole plan is like based around these guys like being gross, so we already know they're bad. We don't learn anything in this scene. It's so boring.
And this dude's got some blue teeth.
Yeah. Regular old Bluetooth.
And face. Gross. His eyebrows at the end when he said that.
I have so little good to say about any of this this dialogue.
So
the
if you
way
had
it's
like
shot.
if you had like gross ass herpes on your face like that, like wouldn't he have beard underneath of it?
Spit so much.
It's like how are you gonna shave your face if it's like that?
Right.
This is so silly.
This is so goofy. This is not what the point of the suspensors were in the book. He was so morbidly fat. It was just to keep him like so he could walk.
Yeah,
He wasn't like Rocket Man.
You know, there is a scene later at towards the end. I'll point it out. Jaden said Willy Wonka. It's such a Willy Wonka scene. It reminded me so much of like the girl who turns into a blueberry gets fat, and then like when they get sucked up like into the fan and they're floating around. There's a scene with the Baron later on, and he's like that.
And speaking of Willy Wonka, he's getting drenched in a chocolate waterfall right now.
Yeah. What is
This whole movie is just a Willy Wonka remake.
When did the first?
I think it was. It's definitely before this.
Yeah, I think
I want to say it was 70s, right?
Oh, that guy just had a thing in his chest.
Yeah, apparently that's like that's something they feel like they added. I don't remember that in the book, but apparently they all have like little heart valves, and he can just pull that out and kill them whenever he wants.
Yeah, so
This
Charlie
scene is
in
also
the-
kind of rapey.
Oh, very rapey.
Yeah.
Oh, him in
Because,
the
like-
book, he's like absolutely. He's
Yeah.
like bring a young boy to my quarters, and he's like, oh, this boy looks like a Paul Atreides. Like he's very very creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. The scene was just
I think
Weird.
they were like, we can't actually have him rape someone, so we'll just have him be creepy.
murdered
Yeah.
guy.
He's like,
Yeah.
cover me with his blood and his youth and everything. So
Yeah. Just, I mean, yeah, smegma as a motif is such a strange choice.
yeah. So that Willy Wonka came out in 71. So
Yeah.
you can clearly see the inspiration in this film.
Yeah. I feel like, though, that might have been the wrong tone.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Probably.
That's actually an interesting movie to talk about. How really scary that movie is.
It terrified
It
me
is
as a
terrifying.
child.
People talk about it as like, oh, what a fun kids movie. That movie is horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go through that fucking tunnel scene.
Oh my
dude.
God,
Yeah,
it's
the
so
tunnel
awful.
scene. Yeah.
There's a bunch of theories about that. It's like essentially just a psychopath is just
Yeah.
trying to kill children. It's another matte painting. Again, the stuff I like about this few and far between, but these are some good sets. I like a lot of this stuff.
I love, like,
For the
how that's
era,
supposed
I
to,
think
like,
it works.
Yeah, I love that little green tube that just came down. It's supposed to look like it's mechanized, but you can totally tell, like, it's like, just lower it down.
Some guy.
Yeah, it's just like smoother.
So I
best-
had seen how many cuts they did of that, and the guy's like, I'm just fucking trying so hard.
Exactly. Can we get like an actual like motor for this?
Some best boy up there
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
slowly lower it down. There's another painting too. This is cool.
Yeah, this is, I mean, strange. I don't know why.
I guess the reason I like it is that the guild is like the only way you get around anywhere.
Right.
So you would have a huge exodus of ships, and I love this part too, like kind of the decadence of this like doorway to enter it. It's not just like a ship. It's not just like a shipping container you're getting into. There's like some level of like reverence for the guild and what they do and how much they control things. So I kind of like the look of it.
Yeah,
I wish it wasn't like just a cylinder, but I love that doorway. I think that's a really neat idea to be like, it's not just a mechanical thing. There's some level of like architecture that went into it, like interesting architecture.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing we always think about. We think about like space being like pure like constructivism, like just completely pragmatic. Like there's nothing about like about architecture or design for fun in our idea of space.
Yeah. Or you have like cool fast ships, like all the Naboo like metallic ships, or like the chromed ships that are like, they look like they're just fast in space and stuff like that. It's like you kind of have that idea of it, yeah.
Well, no, like what I mean is like the opposite. Like we think of like who would put a golden door on a ship in space, and it's just because like we're just not to that point, like developed wise. Like, well, obviously anyone with like 10,000 or 20,000 years ago look at like a modern church and be like, who would do that? Like if they like had a representation of that, like in their time period, like who would ever make a building like ridiculous like that?
His mouth. His butthole mouth just pooped.
Yeah, like I guess the idea of like how the first kind of gatherings and people experienced religion, and then you look at like cathedrals now, and
they would think like that's ridiculous. That no one would just build like put gold on the side of a building just because. And here we are.
I like that. I'm just saying, like that kind of level of kind of opulence. I think it looks cool. I wish it wasn't on like a cylinder.
I wish it was the whole thing.
I think it would look cool if it was like a lot more like detail and like kind of fine.
This part is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Again, this makes no sense to me. I think this is just like, we need to have more sci-fi elements.
He's getting possessed by the demon from Hereditary right now.
Oh my god, yeah. The blue light. The blue light. Yeah, why does he literally looks like a little sperm swimming through space, and like
this goes on for too long.
It goes on for way too long.
The fact that it happened, it was.
I would have rather just slapped it on like, hey, it's magic, cool, totally better than your little flying penis monster.
I love it just appears. nothing to it.
It's so still.
Yeah, I love how it's absolutely not rotating, not doing anything.
I certainly understand the limitations of the time.
Yeah.
And it's fine to me. And honestly, I like the matte paintings. Like anytime I see that in movies when they're used well and they're not like too distracting, but you can tell it's still there. I really think that's like that's a cool part of like this era of filmmaking.
Fingernails.
And I like it. I like that part of this era.
What I wish though is like it was just a matte painting and all we did was zoom in or out. Like to have the background image of the planet moving as well really contrasts with the ship not moving, and it feels very unreal. Like just make the whole thing a painting.
Yeah,
That's totally fine with me. Like you're not making it goofy now.
Yeah, I'm not defending that shot. I just think that style in general.
Oh no, I know.
I find it endearing for the time, for sure.
I understand that you're not defending it. Like I'm pointing out, like there is a way to do exactly what you're limited with in terms of technology, to have made it significantly better. Just the way you treat how images are moving relative to each other is either adds melodrama, or it makes things cheesy, or you've created something that makes a statement without having to be.
Oh boy, why do those rocks not match at all?
Yeah, right.
What do you guys think of Princess Irulan having kind of her little like insertions into this, like her own dialogue? So that's a big part in the book.
Yeah,
it'd be like between chapters you'd have like stories kind of being told, little inserts from the Princess Irulan. So do you think that works in this movie? Do you think you need it at all? Because I don't.
Oh yeah, it's awful. Yeah, no. Again, like that's not the point of this movie. The whole thing like was Frank Herbert like saw a whole world and a whole story beyond just this novel. So to set all of that up now, knowing that you're not going to make another movie, why?
Yeah.
You know, maybe they thought that they were going to make a Dune 2. I don't know why they thought that.
I think it's always interesting to see how a film gets adapted from a book because it's like, what parts are you going to choose to adapt? Because there's clearly things in a book that you need to have just a lot of exposition in books, especially what Franklin Herbert did. Like, this is like an expansive story. You need to have a lot of like exposition.
Yeah.
I don't think you really even need to. You just need to pick the parts that are important to your story. And when we talk about like how the ecology of the planet, we don't need to talk about any of that because we can see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
like there's
the
body
adaptation
language and all
is-
that stuff in the film. Like you don't need all of the all the exposition.
But there's
you do
some
in the
stuff
book.
he's like, okay, it's some stuff that he chooses to do, like having the aliens be like the transport for the guild, which is not in the book, and so he chose to add that in. But then he also takes like some literal interpretations of the book. He's like, this is just actual dialogue from the book explaining literally what I'm already seeing. It's like it's totally unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's always interesting to me like how you do that. Like Zack Snyder gets kind of talked about a lot for Watchmen. How that's like almost frame for frame like the graphic novel.
Yeah.
And I think if you really like the graphic novel, like at least the visual parts of it, you probably like the visual parts of Watchmen, the film.
People who like the graphic novel hate that movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you visually like, if you visually like the graphic novel, you might visually like that film.
Finally, the only good character in this and actor in this entire film, Max von Sydow. Everyone else is terrible. I think he's the only one that actually plays like a well-rounded character that's interesting. It's not over dramatic. He has like a couple monologues, but he's the only one that I find engaging at all. And yeah, obviously it's Liet Kynes.
Yeah, Kynes is going to be played by a woman in the new film, and people are all up in arms in that.
Could not
Doesn't
care
matter.
less. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like that's not in the book, blah blah blah. I don't necessarily care about that, but it's like
He's not like a huge character, so like
he's
changing
really
it.
important.
Well, I mean, like maybe like in terms of like screen time.
Overall,
and I guess
I think
like,
it's overall to the
characters-
world building though.
Yeah. The
because-
character is not built on like a male archetype. You know, it's built on like a scientist, like a doctor. So changing it to a woman, I don't think is a big deal. That's more.
Yeah,
what I
because
mean.
then,
Like,
well, the thing is like, well, I don't remember. What's her name? His wife, the character, the one that's going to be played by Zendaya.
Paul Atreides'
Chani.
wife.
Chani.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Liet Kynes'
Yeah.
wife. I was like,
No, Chani. Like
okay.
that's her dad, so that's important. So I guess I don't remember her mom being in the book.
I'm just saying. No, she's not.
So it probably has the same level of, impact. I don't know why you make it a woman.
Because you need more women leads in your movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
there
guess-
are plenty of women leads though in this film. I mean, maybe not enough because you have too many characters in general
Yeah.
really for a movie. But
So like,
My
wanna
issue
add
is
more
it being
dudes.
like woke Hollywood changed to another male character. It's like it's not like Paul got changed to him. I mean, he's like a side character. It's not to me. It's not a big deal if Kynes is portrayed as a woman
Dude,
or a
yeah,
man.
yeah,
I mean,
not a
I
big
feel
deal.
like that might just be like, oh, this just fits.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that's that's a choice that someone that can make because I don't think it doesn't affect your adaptation. You
Yeah.
know?
it's for marketing, man. They need more women to watch movies. So like, well, we'll put more women characters in it.
Which is funny because I literally never heard about it, and we've been talking about Dune for months.
Yeah. I do like that part where he talks to Paul, Kynes talking to Paul about how he already had his suit kind of outfitted, how the Fremen already do it.
Yeah.
How it just was like intuitive to him. That's actually like a legitimate scene.
Yeah.
It's like a real scene where people acted and they
Yeah.
and they portrayed a character in this film.
Yeah, and there was like a good bit of acting like that I was believable, and then they just slapped on the inner monologue for no reason. Everything was said by the fact that he was bewildered that he put it on correctly.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
it's not
Kynes
like-
played by the same dude from Star Wars Episode 7 who Kylo Ren kills at the very beginning? Is that the same actor?
Max von Sydow? I don't think he was in.
He does look
He looks just like him. He's like
just like him.
He's like, you owed to the darkness.
Yeah, but he also looks like he's the same age.
It's tough to tell.
Yeah.
Calvin will
Because
find out.
Max von Sydow died last year.
So yeah, he could have been in.
He
that
could have been in
movie.
Episode 7.
Doesn't. Is that The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Is that episode 7? Yeah, Lor Sonteca.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad
Yeah.
I recognized him. Yeah.
Look at that.
He's in the movie for 4 minutes. Like, it's not a big deal. He gives like the plans to Poe.
Yeah.
Poe Dameron flies away
Oh,
or
yeah.
tries to fly away.
He's
that
also
also is
the-
like one of the coolest scenes in that movie is when Kylo stops that blaster bolt.
Oh, so sick.
Yeah. That part's awesome.
One cool part of the whole movie.
There's
the whole
that movie
trilogy.
is visually like stunning to me. But
I do love where they decided to take the effects for lightsabers. That was really.
so I was a big fan of the Millennium Falcon scene there. I just
That's
love
okay.
that. Yeah,
I
just thought-
honestly don't
I was
remember
like,
much
oh,
of that
this
movie.
looks way better than it used to. As far as the spaceship goes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
okay.
Yeah.
Again, I think there's charm of like the old way it used to look. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying you can't really repeat that now because people would be like, that looks janky as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But I can watch the old movies and be like, oh, that looks great.
It does look. I'm not saying it
does.
doesn't look great. I just think it looks cleaner and stuff. And like, oh, we get to finally see the updated version of this spaceship that is so popular.
I do love how like. Huh?
Sorry, Calvin, you're so right. He's the only like real actor in this whole thing. Everything between Kynes and Paul is like actually feels like it's actually happening in a movie.
Yeah, but it's only like because of Max von Sydow. Because everything that Kyle MacLachlan is doing is still like so goofy. I mean, Max von Sydow is an amazing actor,
What
but
a
he's
weird way to do an X-ray.
This is actually kind of neat. I think it's kind of cool.
it's weird. Yeah, I
It's
don't
like,
know.
why won't the whole thing just be one?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
That's-
10,000 years in the future.
and it's really a mirror like X-ray. Like we can't even like look at just like over the body.
I mean, it's easy to knock stuff in this, but like visually, that's kind of a neat little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Max von Sydow is Swedish. I guess he's Swedish French.
You love your Swedes, man.
I mean, yeah. Well, I also
Because like you're a big fan of Numi Rapace.
yeah,
She's
Noomi
Swedish.
Rapace, yeah,
She's great.
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, she's great. Oh my god, she's so good.
Yeah, exactly. All of the Skarsgårds. But yeah, Max von Sydow is like
Yeah, we
one
got a
of-
Skarsgård in the new Dune.
Yes, I mistakenly said the older one at one point.
You did?
Yeah,
After I like re-listened to the episode, I was like, whatever.
yeah, whatever. I can't remember.
No one
Wasn't that-
listens. No one's gonna call
Yeah,
us out.
exactly. Wasn't that like the Green Knight, anyways?
I think so.
Yeah, if it was, just if you're listening, if you've decided to listen to this, maybe you might enjoy our Green Knight episode. That's one of the ones that I've listened to that I was like, wow, I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate that we made this.
We can do an abridged version of that. That's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that shows really how much we love that movie, though, and
Yeah.
how we love that movie so much that we're willing to talk about it instead of Dune, which is in front
Oh,
of
this is
us.
David Lynch right here.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's David Lynch. The one that the spotter
okay.
in the Wormcrawler. He has a very interesting little like mousy voice.
Yeah. This part in the book it really kind of endears like Leto to the Fremen and like kind of the population of Arrakis in general. Mm-hmm. And they kind of like skip through it too quickly, like because they talk about him being the spotter, and they're like, "Oh, you get the reward," and he's like, "Oh, I won't take the reward. Like distribute it back to the people or whatever." There's
Yeah.
just like and like. That part of the book is like really kind of epic, how it's very tense and like how they're going to pick up everyone and they're trying to figure out how to distribute the weight, and like some of the ships might not be able to take everyone, and they're talking about like, you know, how are they going to get everyone saved? And it really, the book kind of takes its time to endear Leto, and so later on what happens to him like actually matters. And I get it, it's a movie, you can't take your time with a lot of these scenes, but like I feel like they take a lot of time with like internal, like you said, you cut 45 minutes out of this movie, you're probably gonna get the same movie, and you could put invest some of that time into caring about someone besides Paul, you know.
Yeah, and well, it's not even like so much Paul here that we're trying to world build things that we don't need to know yet. Like, is there a relationship between the worms and the spice? Like, we just don't need to know that. Like, it's something that you find out kind of later in the book anyways. Like, so we don't even need to set the scene for it here, because we know we're going to we know we're going to deal with that in the later bit of the film. Like, it's not a payoff in that case.
I'm fine with like planting the seed, I guess.
Yeah, but like we spent way too much
Yeah.
time here, like where the focus, like you want to build Leto as a character here, and they're more concerned with. I mean, is screaming just comes out of nowhere is kind of the problem. Like run, like that's not endearing.
Yeah,
it's just goofy.
it's like your first glimpse of the worms.
Yeah, and I think that's Other than the fact that, okay, the explosion, I forgot about that. Who cares about that? But like how the worm like dove into the sand earlier.
Yeah.
Just give me a break. That's
Yeah.
so goofy. Like,
Well, especially like the scale it's at, like they wouldn't move like that. Like
no.
jumping around like through this, like that's. I like the idea of it being kind of this slow moving. I mean, kind of this inevitability that's going to catch you, rather than like this quick darting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that part is goofy.
Yeah, and then we just have like Max von Sydow like just sitting there.
So I don't know if you notice it.
Character, but
Yeah, like everything feels like really kind of like red shifted in this. Like all the imagery of like the dunes and everything. I don't know why you need to filter any of that. Like, I guess the idea is make it feel more sci-fi, make it feel less like Earth. But it's like, to me, it's almost like distracting. It's like oversaturating some things and taking like blues out of a shot. It feels, I don't know. It never stuff like that usually doesn't work for me.
I mean, I think it can. There's a lot of stuff that you don't notice when it's happening. I don't really see the purpose of it here, maybe. But I think like when you do see like the original image before color shift, you'd be like, okay, I can kind of see why you do those types of things. But this is goofy. Like I don't know why everyone's in military fatigues.
He's got so many things on his shirt.
Yeah.
Is that stethoscope?
Yeah, it's just because he's a doctor.
Oh, because that's the doctor. Yeah.
But look at how like the stethoscope is like attached to his shoulder pad.
I like, again, I think this is an example of a set I kind of like. I like all the tile in the background. There's some like unique looking sets in this.
Yeah, it's amazing where the budget went.
Well, and I also like to think too, it's like this. So this is a planet where water is really valuable. So people who probably are wealthy, you would have a lot of blues and like teals and stuff in your home to be like this represents people who like can afford water and things like that. I at least that's maybe me trying to like dig deep and grab some more out of this film than is there. But I kind of like that idea. It's like maybe everyone else is kind of living in hovels and the Fremen are kind of bouncing around and living in caves, and here's these people with this beautiful blue tile and everything because they have water, and it's like they can live in that luxury. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just,
Well, yeah, like wealthy people here like have like gold and stuff like in their house because that represents wealth. Whereas for here, blue would represent wealth because it represents water.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
No, yeah. That's the shout out Mapes that's played by Linda Hunt. If you guys see a picture of her, who's from Incredibles?
Yeah.
Looks
Edna
just
Mode.
like her, Edna Mode.
I'm pretty sure that
It's
character.
got to be modeled off her, right?
I'm pretty sure it is.
It looks just like her.
Well, and like if you look up another, are you looking at her Wikipedia page that
I got her
shows her
IMDb
picture?
pulled up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I read somewhere that she was designed after this person.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, because if not, because I mean, she's also a midget, right? Where I mean, she's a little person.
I think if you look up Linda Hunt, you'll recognize exactly who she is. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll
well, I mean,
instantly
saying
think of
Edna Mode.
Yeah.
What is going on with these like these weird tears? I don't know what green has to do with anything in this movie.
There's so much of it though.
Green?
The color. That's what I'm saying. So I've
yeah.
seen it like on the wardrobe, like that whole room was like bright green.
The Atreides flag is like black and green.
Yeah.
I guess, but like it's nowhere else, Like green is like, oh, I love how this scene is so bright, and it's made to look like it's supposed to be like in pitch black.
Dude, there's a lot of phallic images entering rooms.
Yeah, exactly, through small holes.
Yes, this is the Seeker. Goodness gracious.
I'm telling you, there's some
that was a
guy
weird
back
cut.
there just making noises with his mouth.
This is the least exciting scene ever. And this is like, again, referring to the book, I'm like, it's a tense scene in the book.
Yeah.
Like, it's extremely tense. This guy's trying to do, like, he's like whispering his way through this one.
Yeah.
It's so odd.
And I honestly feel like if you
Is
just
this his inner monologue?
Yeah.
It is.
Whispering to himself?
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah, and honestly, if you just took that out, there's probably some suspense here. I still think it goes on too long because I just don't care about anything in this movie. But the fact, like,
Oh my God, is this the view from inside?
inside the
oh
thing.
my God, I didn't even realize this. I don't think the first couple times.
You
I
probably
didn't
fell
even
asleep.
realize.
Yeah. Look at it's like he's staring like right at the eye. It's just so goofy. Like, it's like I just don't know why. What
He
you
just like
think-
added natural reaction, like I'm grabbing that thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Like, nah, this is not floating around me no more.
I think
This is really taking a
I
long
think that
time.
David Lynch, he's like, I have a lot of very usable hunter-seeker footage. I have to put all of it in the film. He saves the shout-out Mapes.
it's just.
I love Franklin Herbert, and like the names he came up with things are so cool.
Yeah.
I like the shout-out Mapes is just a cool thing to say, regardless of how poorly that character is portrayed in this movie. She's really neat in the book, and it's just a neat name.
You know, and we keep ragging on Kyle MacLachlan. He's actually really great in Twin Peaks. I really enjoy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a commentary on Dune, and it's like, yeah, this guy is really good in other stuff.
Yeah.
like, like have you heard of Jean-Luc Picard? Like, Patrick Stewart is much better in everything else he's done than Dune. Like,
Oh God, yeah.
and I don't even think he's like terrible in this, but
But all
he's
of his
also
scenes
barely
are-
in it. Like,
yeah, and his scenes are ultra.
Oh, that
ultra
guy's
goofy.
got puke all over him.
Yeah, he's got Horga
Now
sleep
he's- now
powder
the dad
all over
is
his
now-
face.
now the dad's whispering. Everyone's whispering so much.
I feel like, yeah, if anybody actually listens, they're just gonna keep hearing us like, wow, this is a commentary of size.
Yeah. Oh God.
What is he? I don't remember.
So, you know, I think we talk about in our Blade Runner commentary, a lot of the technology in that is kind of endearing and interesting to look at because it's all this like real old school like analog technology. And when they carry that over into like Blade Runner 2049, it still like kind of has that charming like aspect to it. This is like really wacky technology in it.
I hope they just use it
And-
all
and
in the
there's-
new Dune movie.
You think so?
I hope they do.
Oh God, I hope not.
I really hope that they all have like little like speaker collars on. Yeah.
With the little heart plugs, the little blood plugs. They all
Yeah,
have
what
that stuff.
what are those even? That's not in the book. I don't remember
No,
that
it's
in the book.
from what I remember, it's not. But
I don't know why you would have it in the book. I don't know why they made it a thing in this movie. It doesn't,
I think the idea is that the Baron can kill anyone like instantly.
which is weird because that's just true in general.
Yeah, you're the most powerful person in this building.
Yeah,
Of course, you
Let
could
alone
just
the
order
planet.
someone to kill you. Like,
yeah, exactly. You're literally like in the presence of a Mentat too. So
because he does it to Thufir later. He puts the little plug in him, and he's like, "Oh, you might have noticed your plug. I can kill you at any time." He's like, "Yeah, all the guns around you probably could do it too.
yeah, exactly.
All the guards around. Yeah, I imagine I could be
Yeah.
killed at any moment.
Yeah, I need
Little-
a fail
The
safe.
little blood, plug doesn't really matter. Golly, that would be amazing if Denis Villeneuve worked all this stuff in his bill.
He's like, I didn't actually read the book. He's like, I just watched the movie, and like when you're in high school, you don't want to read the books, you just watch the movie.
Oh God.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah,
like,
this is Dune, the Cliff Notes.
Yeah. Like when Calvin's going through film school, he's like, they're like, I want you to read the book and then like imagine what the film would be, and you just watch the movie instead.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, the aliens at the beginning are great. Your teacher be like, wrong, absolutely wrong, not in the book.
Yeah.
I guess I did that backwards. You should have
We should watch.
watched the movie and then, but you read the book instead, and then you got it all wrong.
Yeah.
I did that joke backwards.
I think I understood what you were trying to say.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
I laughed regardless, so that should
I
be
appreciate
heartening.
that.
There's just so much here going on. I do wonder if they're going to be able to pull. Obviously, well, though the fact that they do have twice as much running time.
Yeah, it's supposed to, and it's a 2-part.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
they.
thought for a minute I was like, oh, the new one's gonna be 4 hours long.
Right. So I mean, this is 2:16, and the new one is 2:35.
Yeah.
So we've already got 20 more minutes for just the first part.
Yeah, I am interested to find out where they cut off the first part of the new film, but
Well, I think it's going to end right where we are right now, right where we are at the what? What is this like? How close are we to being done?
Dude, not even.
we have
So
at least
like
an hour.
we're
and
an
a half
hour
left.
in. I feel like this is where the 2 hours and 35 minutes is going to be up.
So you think
here.
the Baron overrunning the Atreides like household will be the end of the first?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Well, not quite, because it's going to show some of Paul and Jessica escaping, and
Yeah,
I think there might be the one fight that Paul has with that one dude.
That's what I think. That's where I think it's going to end.
Yeah.
Where he gets the Chris knife and he fights the guy. Yeah, that's where I think the new movie is going to end.
Yeah, because then you have Yue killing Peter or Piter.
Piter, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I love this idea.
It's just, yeah. I don't know why he's being dramatic here. He's like, we're about to be descended on by Harkonnens. Like, I don't know. He's just like, I need to get as much information into your head as you can. Like, I'm going to pull out one of your teeth. Just stick this, and I'm going to stick this in here. And if you want to kill the Baron, you have the option now. Like,
I think this is such an interesting part of the story, though. Like,
Yeah.
Just like
Oh, he just took out his
whether or
teeth
not
so
it looks
easily.
weird or not, or it's acted well or not. The idea that like Dr. Yui is so driven to get revenge on the Baron, like he knows he can't do it himself, but he's going to use the Duke to get like his revenge, because the tooth is going to release that gas and kill the Baron. And so he's willing to go so far to like get that revenge on the Baron that he's going to like turn his back and sacrifice the Atreides family. And that's how he kind of they got past that conditioning that he has, you know. But I think that's like that. It's a super interesting part of the book. It's like maybe the only really interesting part of this movie. Unfortunately, it's just not like handled very well. But I love like that kind of idea of I'm willing to get revenge so bad that I'm gonna sacrifice this family that's been so close to me, you know.
yeah. And it's made very clear in the book that he's almost positive that his wife has been killed.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the idea that she is alive is been dangled in front of him.
Yeah. Oh, the weirding module.
The weirding modules. Like, that's the thing he's concerned about like their entire, like, what
There's
is
a little
going
CGI
on?
shot there. Did you see that ship come in? That was a
Yeah.
little CGI one there.
You would have thought that they would have used more or some.
I'm kind of glad they didn't. That would really, really date this and make it look. It doesn't look great already.
Yeah, I
but-
was about, what do you mean date it? Like, we're already like, when they're riding the worms and like, they're even that.
At least it's sparing.
that?
Like I'm glad it wasn't like a lot of stuff.
This is goofy. Like, again, like all of the Saldok are like dressed like that in, their little, I don't know what to like, how to even describe that.
The Sardaukar?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Saldokar.
Oh
That's
my
what he
God.
says.
He says Sardaukar.
No.
I'll bet you $4.
No, the Baron already said it. Saldokar.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look like
Sauerkraut.
when they march out of that, they remind me of like the Nazis in Kung Fury, just like rows of Nazis walking out. It almost looks, because like that movie is supposed to look like older, like 80s and stuff like that. So they almost look the same. Like
Yeah.
they really captured that effect in that movie. Kung Fury is great.
I just don't get this either. I'm pretty sure. I don't think the Baron ever saw Jessica, right?
In the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he talks about, he's like, oh, I wanted to take you, but I already promised you to Piter. So
Yeah, I don't remember that then.
he does something really, really gross coming up.
Which is just, yeah, it's also like, I don't think that was in the book. Was it?
No.
Yeah.
no. At least I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Maybe somehow the written word just seems more classy to me. And then seeing it in this trash ass film, I'm just like, oh, gross.
I just don't think like, I think I would have been like visual, like it would have been, he's such a good writer. I would have been like,
He wouldn't say that.
yeah. I mean, I don't think that the Baron is like, I don't get the sense that he is like,
What
like,
the
why did he
fuck?
just, yeah,
So
he just
gross.
spits on her face. Like, I never imagine him like that. Like, I imagine him being fat and a sadist and those types of things, like a narcissist. But I never really got him like
disgusting.
Yeah, like disgusting. Like I don't remember the boils and things on his face. I think it might be kind of mentioned that he has scars or like whatever. Or like
no, I think that's more a thing for this movie to be like, hey, these are the bad guys, and we're gonna let you know they're the bad guys because they're gross.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like it. I that's what I'm saying. There's nothing clever about any of the characters.
He's all playing with the dude's spit on her face.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
right.
just like still hanging there on the bridge of her nose. Ah.
He's good at playing creepy guy because he's great as Grima.
Yeah, the worm thing, just really flows with him. Oh, that guy just fucking. What was that?
Oh yeah, I love this. Like this
Hand motion.
Yeah.
hand motion.
Oh no! It's because this is the deaf. That's the deaf guard who's going to take him because they don't want the Jessica to use the voice on him. So that makes sense actually that he's doing all the kind of sign language like that.
For the one thing they didn't explain enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just now gathering that. That's him doing sign language to, because they wanted a guard who wouldn't succumb to the voice.
I just figured it was like, it's just weird because they've over-explained everything else at this point. How could they have possibly
miss
missed
that?
something?
Yeah.
Something very important as such as that. I don't even understand that.
Yeah, because a big thing about the weapons in the book is like if you use the guns that they have against the shields they have, it essentially causes a giant explosion.
Yeah.
So basically, no one uses shields and no one uses guns because they're afraid that combination is just going to kill everyone, which is kind of an interesting, unique way to get around the whole like people do hand-to-hand combat, people use like weapons, like blades and stuff rather than shooting at each other. That's actually a really interesting part of the book that this film misses out on. I really hope that that's an aspect of the new movie.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not. Hopefully they just create the weirding way as being like an actual fighting tech. I don't even know why he thought that it wouldn't translate well to film. Like they just fight well.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. That's all you need to show it as even.
They even mention it in this. Like later, you'll see Jessica where she moves around and like gets behind one of the Fremen, and they're like, "Oh, she has the weirding way."
Yeah.
So they already translated it one time.
Yeah.
And then their next explanation is to do a sound weapon. Oh my god, this movie is fucking wild.
Oh, wait a minute.
It doesn't understand.
So wait a minute.
Content.
No. So those are not the one that he was doing sign language to is not one of the guards. No, because that's the dude the deaf one that you were saying is the guy that played Pete Martell. That's Jack Nance. Neither of these two are Jack Nance.
Yeah. This movie has no idea what it's
Okay, what that? Yes, okay, so I have no idea why he was doing that then because I don't think he is deaf.
Well, I think for that scene it was supposed to be that translated from the book, and then they forgot to have him in this ship.
Oh my god! I love how their suits are like they're supposed to look like faux leather, but they're also like repurposed, like I don't know, like polyester.
I know we've. Do you think that they could just have him say stuff? Do they need to have an effect on the voice? Does that work at all for you guys?
I think it could just be add a lower undulating bass tone to the you don't have to modulate it so much, but just double track the vocals for it. So have a dub of him saying it as well, because then it creates a weird effect rather than just like making it cheesy.
Just
A poisoned blade, because poison works immediately like that.
There's a couple scenes later on in the movie where they use the voice, and I'm just like, oh, this is so distracting. It's just so weird. Like, yeah.
Buns.
Well, and then like that effect, you can still hear it. Whatever that modulation they're doing to it is even like carrying out when they're breathing. Like you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I also don't know why he all of a sudden I
need to attack him.
Yeah,
now.
I need to attack him because he's clearly not listening to everything we're saying.
Land this ship. You fucking you ruined the whole thing there, buddy.
I hate everything about Jessica's character from here on because she's like a source of like stability and power, and she's such a great, well-written character who's like in utter despair and turmoil over her husband having died, and she's just. And so there's a lot of inner turmoil in her character where she's like upset, but she's using her training to stay calm. And here she's just like flailing around the whole time, like, oh, it's the sand. It's just like,
I think they could have used her a lot better as like a mentor guide to Paul, which she's not really in this at all. Like. And it's kind of similar in the book where all of a sudden he just kind of has powers, but I think she still helps him along with that.
Yeah. And she's still like an important piece, you know, and she's also not like just acting like someone who doesn't know how to survive, you know, that's the problem.
She seems totally helpless in this. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And that's not who she is.
This movie, people want to complain about like Rey in the sequel trilogy of Star Wars being a Mary Sue. Paul Atreides
Mary
should be.
Sue?
Yeah, Mary Sue is like a character from Star Trek who like can just do anything. Like has a lot of. She like is just a big problem solver, and so it's just like a term that got coined somehow. And they're like, oh, Rey is
like a Harry Potter.
Yeah, just like someone who like, oh, just always has the answers, always does the right thing, can always get out of any situation. And what I think would be more appropriate is any male character who just is ultimately powerful and can do anything at any time. That's a Paul Atreides because he just gets his powers and he can do kind of anything in this.
Yeah, and I love in the book how they treat it as he's super. Oh my god. I hate how they decided to do this. Like the whole room filled with poison gas last time in the book, and he had to pull out like a. Oh my gosh.
It's like a slow thing too. He doesn't just like breathe it out, you know, like right into his face, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens really quickly, but he doesn't like expel it like that.
It's it's essentially invisible, and they realize like almost too late that it's happening. It's like this noxious gas you can see, you know?
But yeah, what I love about like Paul being super powerful. Oh my gosh. Yes. What is this?
God, this guy's so goofy.
It just doesn't even fit with the tone. Like it's a decent, like there's a way of shooting that where it feels like he's gloating over it and it's not melodramatic, but they just chose all of the wrong camera angles. It goes on too long. They cut another shot of it into it as well. But so, like I was saying, the good thing about the book, because that's where all of the good things I have.
Yeah.
Is it's not concerned whether or not Paul is all powerful. It's that Paul knows he is super powerful, but sees the end in such a way as what he will become, and it's a bad thing. Like that's the whole point, is how this character is trying to prevent becoming that thing, despite all of this knowledge and this power that he's gained. That's so much more engaging and compelling. Like I don't even care that he just mows through all of his objectives and beats everyone, because it's kind of like, because of Princess Arulan's introductions for every chapter and all of those things, like we know what's going to happen. It's just like this whole book is just like, it's happening in past tense.
Yeah, essentially,
And so that's very obvious. So it's setting up all of these major themes for later in the series, where we're talking about like what it means as being like the God Emperor of Dune, which is the next book.
But I think in terms of a movie like this, it just essentially, it seems like every problem is solved because Paul can just do anything, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the second moon, here we go. Like,
but I just
set up payoff.
I just think it's weird when people complain about like woke culture being like, oh, we need to have female protagonists who can do anything, and we need to be mad at the character Rey, and little girls who look up to a female protagonist in a fucking Star Wars movie, which is a fantasy sci-fi. This isn't like...
Yeah, they're all terrible characters going back all the way to the original trilogy. You can say the same thing about Luke. It's not the fact that it's woke or anything. It's the fact that all of our characters in mainstream cinema are made the same way, and they're all terrible. You just don't like it because now it's not a man. Yeah. So that says more about you than it does about
Have you guys
cinema.
seen that interview with Freddie Prinze Jr. when he talks about Star Wars, like the new ones, like how people hate it because it's like Rey or whatever. He's like, these are fucking made for kids.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, this is for a new generation of kids. It's like, you're just pissed off that it's a girl now.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Like, that's it.
Go back and like the original trilogy is bad. The second one is just as bad. The third one is objectively worse because J.J. Abrams literally said like we probably should have had a plan when we sat down and made these. That's I can't believe that.
Well, so
that's
like
actually
Finn's
a thing,
character,
but-
like in the new ones, like dude, there's so much potential to make such a good character out of him.
Yeah, or
And
at
they
least
just, like,
some comic side.
and then instead, all he does is Rey for 3 movies.
3 movies.
We're
My
talking
gosh.
through this. Do you guys have any idea what any of the imagery in these dreams mean? Like, what does the hand reaching out mean? Like the floating hand?
I don't remember. I missed that part. But obviously there was the fetus, and that's the, Jessica's child. What's Aaliyah?
Yeah.
But I don't remember the rest of it because again, like, you're relying on things that we're expecting to be told everything in this film because that's the only way any of this works. So the fact that something is there that doesn't make sense, I think is a misstep.
Yeah.
Like, why? I'm waiting for you to explain it to me. I can't put any of these pieces together because you haven't given me all of the pieces.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
It's
That-
weird.
like-
It's weird how this film will spell itself out for you most of the time, and then like the dream sequences, some of them like I don't know what you mean by any of this. Like the hand moving across, it's just an open palm moving. I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, I don't remember the rest of it either. Maybe it has something to do with. No, I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate. This movie doesn't deserve better interpretations
Right.
of what it's trying to say. Oh my gosh. Okay, and this is straight up. Lion King straight up fucking took this from this
Even
movie.
the music feels like
Oh,
it, right?
yes, the music even. I was like, oh my God, it's Simba looking up at the clouds. And Mufasa is like, I don't remember, it's your destiny or
Yeah.
something. Like,
Oh, it sounds
The whole
just like
entire
it.
movie of Lion King is a blatant ripoff from some like Japanese like cartoon.
well, it's Hamlet.
yeah.
No, but Jane is right. There's one.
Like it's like literally the exact same.
yeah, it's
movie.
something in the White Lion or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
It's-
well,
it's-
which is
it
based
like,
on, I'm sure it's based on Hamlet
Yeah,
as
Yeah,
well. too,
probably. Yeah, but it's like
okay.
it is the exact same movie.
Oh my gosh. Disney.
You wouldn't
this
waste
is-
water like that.
Yeah.
Not on Arrakis.
This irritates me so much because Liet Kyne's death in the book, I feel, is it's heartbreaking because you don't think he's gonna die because he's having all of those internal thoughts and then he gets the spice explodes, whatever. But it's
a cool looking costume.
it's so important, and we don't even establish that he dies here.
Yeah.
It's just kind of assumed.
Yeah. You could have him pop back up. Yeah.
Yeah, or at least show him die. Like he deserves that for at least making something of this. Yeah, the fear.
Dude, why is the 80s so bad at villains? Like,
Why is the 80s so bad at everything? Why can they not make a good movie for an entire decade? Like, why was that? Like, how was that possible?
we have a podcast coming out about The Fly, which to me, when that comes out, you guys didn't like it as much as I did. That is at least like there feels like there's characters in it. To me,
Butterfly.
Yeah.
I think if you cut that movie up into 3 sections, then maybe, and then we can kind of assume that there's character development in between the sections.
I think that Jeff Goldblum is multi-dimensional. He's not one thing. Every bad guy in this is one thing, and that's it.
Yeah, but they're not. He's not multidimensional in a way that makes sense. Like for people, yes, like people can act different on day to day, but that's not how you set up characters within a narrative. They need to be kind of self-contained in a way. Like, this is how I've set up their values and their mannerisms, and this is how they act. Most people don't actually act that way. Like when they get to a situation, it's the idea of FAE, so fundamental attribution error. The concept that we don't actually like how often you think that you behave in a way that falls in line with your values. So
Okay.
let's say like you think that 80% of the time you're doing what you're doing because of that's who you are. It's not about the context. Or at least that's what we say about other people, like why someone ran a red light. That's because that's just who they are. But when you run a red light, well, that's because I was really late, or like, oh, I sneezed right before it. Suddenly,
or like, I thought I was going to make it through on the yellow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suddenly context matters a lot more, but we assume that it doesn't for other people. So really, like, are.
You gotta try to take your brain out of that, man. I feel like.
I know, but there's
Yeah.
but the thing is like how we create characters.
Yeah.
Is we think that it's like the 80% thing. They need, if you've said that they have these values, these mannerisms, they need to fall within that spectrum that nothing can really fall outside of who they are. And I don't think that's what Jeff Goldblum's character does. I think he goes through too many changes that would be normal for a real human, but not within a narrative.
My main point, he's much more nuanced than the Harkonnens in this.
Yeah, he's not spitting on. No, that's not true. He is spitting on people. I forgot.
Yeah, he is. Sorry, I just want to plug that episode because I think it's a good one.
I mean, here they are running from the worm, and we just don't care. Like, that's a reused shot of the worm diving.
That's the same one, yeah.
Yep.
Totally is.
And it's goofy, and there is no semblance of real danger going on here.
When did Tremors come out? I wonder how much that took from this film. Yeah, it came out in 1990, so the effects
Bill
in that are
Paxton.
great. Yeah, the Tremors is awesome. They do a better worm effect than Dune does. I mean, it had 6 years of worm advancement, special effects technology, but you know the scene in Jurassic Park Lost World when they get chased by the T-Rex into like a little cave under a waterfall, and it's like Jeff Goldblum's there with like his daughter and his girlfriend and like one of the dinosaur scientists or whatever, one of the paleontologists, and the T-Rex like has its face come in, like its snout, and it's like it licks one of them. And then the paleontologist freaks out and he runs out. That's what that scene reminds me of. It's like the worm is right there like, at the entrance to the little cavern they're in.
He's falling so far. Oh, there he goes.
I love how he crushes rocks with
Yeah.
his own body weight. Don't worry, man. You're harder than rock.
Yeah, I was about to say, it doesn't matter. Just let the thing hit you.
Yeah. That
Well,
rock better
yeah.
watch out.
It's just, how can it be fast at sometimes when it's a tiny model, and then when they have to have the bigger model out, it's so slow? Like
Yeah.
you need to have continuity with your creature, you know?
Yeah. The worm, the spice, blah, 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 something, something. Don't care. Especially since I don't even think they actually they make the connection in this film. Like they keep talking about it like being a really necessary thing, like which is further expanded in the later books, as far as I know. But they don't even really give you the answer here. If I
I don't think they really give you the answer in the book either.
But that's the thing.
It's like
it's like
there is like
they-
a vague
but-
connection.
Yeah,
They don't
but
really
we're
go
not
into it.
concerned with figuring it out in the book because it's a series. But
Yeah.
here, this movie like is trying to do everything all at the same time.
Yeah, they could have left that out. Like, make it more about Paul and, well, I guess it's already all about Paul, but
It's too much about Paul, which is crazy because there's too many people in this movie.
I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do it because the one that's coming out is like star-studded, huge cast.
Yeah, massive cast.
I think as long as you give it enough screen time, I think it's possible. You know, that's really the difference. Okay, so this is what's his name? Where is Stilgar on this thing? So this is Everett McGill. He plays Ed Hurley in Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to guess it. Is he really?
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were messing. I thought you were
yeah.
just going to say everyone was in Twin Peaks.
I mean, like that's the thing. Like everybody is in Twin Peaks.
Was David Lynch involved in Twin Peaks? Did he?
He made Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched it. I'm not a big buff on it or anything.
yeah, I
I've
watched
never
it.
seen that movie. So.
It's
a series,
It's
yeah.
a series,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And it's fine. It's fun. They're like it's very dated in '90s things. It's kind of mysterious. I mean, the character Coop.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where Jessica uses the weirding way. So just have him teach the weirding way to the Fremen. Why do they need to be like, let's get modules, weirding modules? It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah, at least call it something other than the weirding module then, because that's even dumber in a science fiction movie. Like, we have so many of these like weird like technology things, and then all of these weird fantasy elements that aren't really in the book.
I don't claim to know how to do special effects or anything like that, but there is a level of understanding like how you saturate colors.
Yeah, the eyes are terrible.
The eyes do not match. Like essentially, they're glowing at night.
Yeah.
Like the how saturated they are. Like they should.
Except
still
when you're like
be
far enough
toned
away
down.
where they don't have to use it.
Yeah, I love how like the moment like it cut away to the further out, like she doesn't have blue eyes anymore.
Oh,
And
we're
now
closer
it's
up
like
now. Yeah.
it's like really it's like it looks like someone went into.
You know what it looks like is
Wait, why does Paul have
I
blue
don't
eyes
know.
right now?
But they look like White Walkers.
Yeah, they do. No, he doesn't.
yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
okay,
they
I want to
yeah,
know. Like,
yeah.
am I stupid?
No,
Did I-
he just had blue eyes.
Okay, yeah, I think they're just like we're just gonna color everyone into kind of like a coloring
the
book,
guys
like,
in the
oh,
background
shoot,
don't have blue eyes right now.
Yeah. It's just so irritating that like that's how like it's a jumping mouse in the book Paul Muad'Dib, and that is it's more interesting than the moon. I don't know
Yeah.
why they have a specific.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed.
Oh,
it.
that's why the hand, because the handprint is on the second moon, and that's
okay.
literally all.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I thought I was just misunderstanding that because I was like, oh, it looks like a hand on the moon earlier. I was thinking that to myself. I was like, that doesn't mean anything. No, I guess it still means almost nothing, but. I love all of his names. What do you guys think of all the titles that Paul gets? Because, you know, he's the Duke now. He's the Kwisatz Haderach. He's Muad'Dib. And then he becomes the Lisan al Gaib. Like, is it ever enough for this guy? Like,
Yeah, him and Daenerys have pretty good rivals.
that's exactly what I wonder how much of that, like,
The breaker of worms.
I wonder how much of that,
Oh, that's good.
I wonder how much of that title was maybe inspiration because this came out before Game of Thrones.
absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
I wonder, or
I'm
Song
sure
of
like
Ice and
George
Fire,
R. R.
but-
Martin's like read the book.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I feel like too, it's more of a convention of like a lot of older political figures, like in like medieval times. Like you
Yeah.
have multiple titles.
It's
like
kind of having
so.
that like lore surrounding them makes them
Yeah.
more prestigious, you know.
And especially within, it shows how they are to each different culture that they come in contact with.
Oh yeah,
So I think that's an interesting way of doing of going about it. Obviously, here it's very confusing because there's just not enough time to like establish why each of these names are different, you know. And I don't know why. Like, I don't even know if you need to put in Usul into this one because
Usun, what Chani calls him.
Usul, like that's his
Yeah.
Siege name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like what she just calls him though.
right.
Yeah, he's got another name, but yeah,
They have a cow.
dude, this scene is crazy.
He just pulled out his tongue and like,
Lingua delicious. So.
Have you had cow tongue
Yeah,
tacos?
it's so good.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
No, I've had cow tongue pot roast and stuff too, dude. It's great.
I have cow tongue in my freezer right now.
It's really good.
It's just waiting to thaw it out, man. It's so tasty.
how does everybody keep getting sweatier? You know, why is Raban like literally?
Look at the facial expressions this guy is making.
But this is another like Wonka scene to me.
Yeah.
He's like floating around the room.
Every scene this
Oh,
guy has been
yeah.
in so far, I'm like, oh, this is Willy Wonka.
It's really irritating. Like, okay, let's paint his fingernails because we got to make him effeminate, and that's bad, and that's a part of the character. It's so irritating to me. Like, he has boils on his head. He pulled out heart plugs. I don't think the fingernails painting doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Like,
I know,
it's
I was
that.
like, okay, is this guy's like favorite fighter Chuck Liddell or something? What's going on? here?
Oh my god, I forgot he did that.
Yeah,
Wow,
he
that's
does
wild.
not look good. I saw a picture of him.
Would he
where it's
really
like-
age
He's just
age
like,
out?
yeah,
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
he's
And
like
he also just
barely
got-
got the mohawk now.
And he just got arrested for domestic violence.
Yeah, he's like not a.
A fighter getting arrested for domestic
Yeah.
violence?
How wow!
crazy.
What a
Yeah,
first
right.
first time
That's
for
wild.
everything.
Okay, oh
shout
my
out
gosh.
Christy Mack.
What is going on here? Okay,
He
with
just needed sexy
Sting,
Sting in this.
and he's like, look, he raising his eyebrow, and like, I don't. Why? I just don't even understand what's happening with this shot. Like, clearly these people are not in the same room as each other, even though they're being cut that way. So what was he directing Sting to do right here?
I don't know, just stand there and make this dude come in his pants is what it looks like.
Yeah. It's just like Faye.
Hey, they're on
like,
Tatooine.
Yeah, look at that. They're outside, which is stupid. That's never in the book, specifically because it's too hot. I don't know if you noticed in the beginning, they said that the temperature, when they first went to the first sand harvest, whatever, to get the spice.
Yeah, the harvester, yeah.
Yeah, they said that the temperature was 350 degrees Kelvin. There's 175 degrees Fahrenheit.
Did they say that, really?
They literally said that in this movie.
This movie does not track its own continuity.
Yeah,
at
there's
all.
no way you would ever be outside at all in the first place. Let alone the fact that like you're trying to conserve water. You cannot survive on the surface with the sun.
They explicitly talk about how like they typically only travel at night. It's only during the day, like if they have to, like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the screaming here! I don't remember what this.
This is their. Jessica's going to become the new
Reverend Mother.
Reverend Mother for the Fremen.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I don't remember what the. I don't remember what the tradition is called here. Like what this actual ritual was.
Oh, I don't remember the name of it either. I just know it's like the whole point is like she figured out how to pick the poison apart to make it like to where it wouldn't kill her, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's what essentially Paul has to do later to prove he's like really the Kwisatz Haderach. So
yeah, I love in the book like she's talking about like how what's going on in her mind is like it's the old Reverend Mother like fusing like giving all of her memories and her identity to Jessica, and that's when they see and she sees
there's like another consciousness with them, and that's the daughter. Yeah, and what they do in this is just have a creepy fetus.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But like she freaks out because like what have we done by doing this?
Yeah.
Like you didn't tell us you were pregnant.
Well, this is one of my favorite shots of the whole movie because no other shot is like that in the whole movie. Like them going down the stairs, like that point of view shot.
Yeah.
There's not a single shot like that in the film.
Yeah, shaky.
That's the only one. And then it goes back to your,
And it's a legit cat in there.
Yeah, look at that. And it's
just a weird shot selection.
It's completely
like, why would you put that
unnecessary.
in?
Yeah. Oh, and there's Jack Nance eating something.
I kind of like to think maybe this is like a weird take on like Schrodinger's cat, where it's like if he dies, the cat dies. Maybe they were trying to go for some symbolism with that, but this scene makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a very loose take on that, but that's the only thing I can gather from this scene.
Yeah, I guess that's. What is the rat for again? I don't remember that. Oh, this is so weird.
Just to milk the cat?
This is to me a big example of like just have your
I have nipples, can you milk me?
Yeah. Why is his shirt open like that? Just to show the heart plug?
So Thufir's like not really kind of doing much in this, but then he has this voiceover right here. His face doesn't match that narration at all.
Oh yeah, no. I think that's one of the bigger problems too. Is like if you are gonna have these terrible narrations, why not at least have them match up? You see what it looks like on screen. It doesn't need to be directly from the book like you're doing it.
Like that's what I'm saying is I think people were intentionally told like do not emote during the scene. Do not emote because we're just going to have the voiceover later. And it's awful.
Well, and it's weird because he's clearly
like the
emoting.
Worst culprit of it. Like that to me, that scene is the worst representation of that, where his face, he's not emoting anything that he's saying in his head.
Yeah, but he is emoting. That's the weird thing is like they're clearly telling him to do something, and then going in the opposite direction.
Doesn't line up. Nothing lines up.
Why are we whispering? What are we talking about? Holy war! They haven't even mentioned the jihad in this whole thing, and so that line doesn't mean anything. You know, the jihad is everything that he saw in his future visions in the book.
Harkonnens.
I heard I heard there's maybe some controversy if they're going to use jihad in the new movie because there's still maybe kind of
it's a
stigma around.
I think it's a really loaded thing to put into your film. Like I know what it means, and I think it's probably a better idea to steer away from it because it would probably be distracting when you are talking about something that's completely outside of our human world currently.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, what would be a better
Crusade
word for it?
is what I've seen. So
Which is interesting because that I feel like
it's also terrible.
yeah, it's also terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
So I kind of wonder is like, have we moved far enough as a society to be like, you can use these terms and not associate them with like, these don't always have to do with like terrorism. Like, it's like, this is just a word that means exactly what this film needs it to mean.
yeah, it's a holy war.
Yeah.
But the thing is like it's been so stigmatized because of like the way we look at like Islam in general. Like that's all anybody sees when they see that word is just radical terrorist Islam. And I think that's not the right thing. Like
It's like kind of racist.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it is racist.
Especially
to think
when
that every time someone says
Yeah.
jihad, it has to do with terrorism. Like
Yeah.
it is. Like
yeah. Not only that, like you could look at the Crusades like from the Christian perspective, like as being jihad as well. So that's the thing. Is like
Absolutely.
it's not limited to just a specific
One specific
group.
religion. Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
Right.
it's just because it's white people who associate the crusade with like maybe being a good thing and like spreading the word of God, but somehow
Yeah.
jihad is spreading the word of Allah, and that's
I mean,
bad.
there can't
so-
be people who think that.
What?
There can't be people who think they.
Oh.
I can't imagine that.
No
I mean,
way.
Just like the mass murder people. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I mean,
just think
we
that-
talked in like Midsummer. It's like there are people who are Odinists. Like,
That Midsummer.
how
podcast
do you get into your brain like that to where you can just believe terrible things and be like, yeah, that's right.
So this is our least. I think one of my least favorite things, at least the weirding module.
honestly though, like it's so bad that when we get to the storming of the taking back of the palace, it's the only thing that I enjoy in this whole movie. I can't remember where it was when I first watched this, but there's a point like halfway through where my jaw dropped and it locked. Like I literally couldn't pick it back up because I was like, what is going on?
Right.
Where are we going? Why are you doing these things? And I was
None of us
just
have
like,
blue eyes right now.
yeah.
And at this point, Paul should have blue eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he does eventually, yeah. Again, where did they get these, the barb penis, like, things?
Why did none of them have blue eyes? Okay, now
There they go.
yeah,
There
they
they go.
Like, oh, we're
there's
close enough again. No, they don't.
And then he's like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
my name is a killing word. So one thing that they do skip is the fight that he has. Yeah, we talked about a little bit earlier. There's one of the Fremen who he's like, nah, I'm challenging this guy. Like, get out of here. You're not Muad'Dib. Like, you're not the Kwisatz Haderach. You're not anything to us.
Yeah.
And they skip that fight. And part of the reason that fight means a lot in the book is because it really endears him to the Fremen. Because they're like, oh, you don't have to accept the challenge. You're not Fremen. He's like, no, I will. I'm going to accept it. He's like, I'm going to become Fremen. Mm-hmm. And that endears him to the people. And they totally
kind of,
get rid of that.
Because they also think that of him as being a little wary of him because he seems to take his time and make sport of fighting him because he's not used to fighting without a shield.
Right.
So so his movements are a little slow, so he can't deliver the killing blow, even though he's in position several times within the fight.
I just think they say he can't become the leader until he conquers the worm. But at that point, there are Stilgar has already, mostly kind of been like, yeah, you're the guy. Like, you still have to ride the worm, but I'm like one of your lieutenants now. He's like, you're pretty much in charge.
Yeah.
You just have to finish this final piece. And so in this film, he still has to continue to prove that, even though I just think the fact they skipped that part, again, cut 45 minutes of internal narration out of this film, and then you can have that fight scene to kind of endear him to the Fremen, you know?
Yeah. I also think it's weird here how they didn't acknowledge the worm riding as being a coming of age thing. They make it this very, very important thing for him to do
because he looks old as shit. Like,
yeah, well, exactly. But that's the thing is like that's in the book. Like it was established. Oh, this is hilarious. But it's established that like everyone who's like 12 or 13 like has already done this thing, and here it's supposed to be very like super climactic and grand. Novel.
Oh my God! Look at him.
Yeah,
going up. Oh my God!
He's absolutely just laying on the ground.
We haven't talked much about the score.
It's bad.
Think it's so weird in this part, and then he's gonna get the spikes in and ride it, and then the score picks up again.
It's like one of those jump ropes so you can like gym class.
Yeah,
it's all plastic or whatever. Yeah.
I talk a lot about how scores working in concert with what you're seeing on screen.
Yeah.
And this movie does not do that at all.
I mean, it's like kind of fine right here.
Oh, this is so goofy.
Until... Okay, where is it? I know we're about to come up on it. I don't know why the worm ever opens its mouth.
Like, this is somehow supposed to be a really epic scene, and it's boring as hell.
Yeah.
This is the greatest movie of all time.
Like, there's just so much slowness to it. Like, that just...
That's a fucking jump rope, dude.
Yeah.
It's exactly
like,
what
I'm pretty sure
like.
that's what that is.
That is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Here's where the score picks up.
Yeah.
Okay, I had this thought when I watched
So now
this.
he has blue eyes.
I was like, this would be so much better. Play, like, Dragon Force at this part.
Dude,
Because this is
sick.
Yeah.
it's almost kind of that feel, that epic kind of rock feel
Or
to
like
it.
that, the movie Heavy Metal.
Right.
Yeah, like that. Keep in tone with that. Like that's what you've made. It's from the 80s.
Go
Everything
all
is
out.
awful in this. Yeah, like absolutely. Like I like the song right there. I don't know what this red blood, whatever. This is stupid. I don't remember that being in the book either. Do you remember that being in the book?
I don't.
Painting them
It
red?
sort of reminds me of, it's reminiscent of the Crimson Guard or the Red Guard that the Emperor has in Star Wars.
I literally
It's more
think they're
akin
like-
to that.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of inspiration kind of taken from Star Wars that got put into this.
Yeah, I think they just were like, let's slap some color on these people so they know who's good and who's bad, and that's literally it. Which is stupid. Like,
There's so much stuff. I definitely think put Dragon Force in this.
Yeah.
It would make the score
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like we just take your 80s, the like, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Like fakeness, inauthenticity,
Yeah.
of everything that's 80s, and turn it all the way up. And you're trying to make something that isn't here.
Yeah, lean into it.
Yeah, the entire 80s aesthetic does not lean towards authenticity.
The score has been so boring this whole movie. That's like one of the main things I thought about is I was like, how would I make this better? Just turn it up. Like turn up the goofy, because your movie's already weird. So just really amp it up. I do love this costume, not him, but the guy with the mask on, with the little tubes. I think there's, like I said, the most interesting parts of this are the costumes to me. I think there's some good looks on this.
Just to keep that. Yeah. I didn't understand that they had adapted the weirding module into cannons for like a few minutes until we got to this part. Because why would you think that?
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
This movie does a good job of making anything that could be cool look really dumb.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is the part where my jaw dropped, because now we have 3 images over, like,
There's just
composite
what
on top
is
of each other.
happening?
Like things are exploding. He's making out with Chani. We have this weird blue-eyed girl that's like, apparently we don't actually, like, nothing's really explained enough.
It's not actually introduced that she's Paul's
that fetus
the sister.
that was like, that fetus never like was just an image for a long stretch, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now Paul has a sister. Oh, where did that come from? The primordial goop of that little baby image that we saw. Like, yeah,
Dude, look at this goofy toupee. Like, why couldn't just make him with hair in the beginning of the movie? That way he can not look so silly here with the He's got like long
He's got
hair.
a fucking skullet right now.
Yeah,
It's
that's
rad,
it, a skull,
dude.
yeah.
Legit. I mean, he's still more attractive than how I imagine Gurney Halleck would look in the book with that thing.
Oh my god.
Oh, and then
And-
coming back to the
What a
Yeah.
weird sound going on right now. The music
like an
changed
alarm
so
or something.
drastically,
Yeah,
and
what
it's
is
very
going on?
bad. Yeah. And it just goes away.
You know, I just noticed this. What he's saying, like the movements of his mouth, obviously don't match up with the dialogue, and that's why it makes sense that he's using the little communicator. I just now noticed that. Okay,
Oh.
that's one clever thing. Good
Yeah.
on you. He's speaking something else, and they have like a translator for it. Okay.
Okay, but the other thing I don't understand is the guild has come here to like tell them like you need to take matters into your own hands. Like, okay, well, the only way I can get there is through you. Oh, you're right. Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
That's just like, and that's why it wasn't in the book because it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
He's like, yeah, you guys have the ships. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, and that's also like they don't care about
do
Paul.
you see that cutaway? That's the best.
Oh
one.
yeah, that's like like crumpling paper. Like it did it again. Like oh my god.
Which again is
Why'd you even go to that? Why'd you even go there just now?
Yeah. Yeah, he sees it now. Oh my gosh. How many composite in my mind we keep doing that?
But the thing, it's only used here. It's not like a.
No, they used it at like a couple other times.
Did they
like,
use it? Okay.
in
But
a
it's like
couple other
it doesn't
weird
have as like much
montages.
noise to it in the other scenes.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
has a sound to it. Isn't that
Yeah.
odd?
Yeah.
Like when you see the screen wipes that like Star Wars does,
Uh-huh.
it's just, it just happens. You have the score going, and it's such a Star Wars thing to have the wipes
Yeah.
and everything. Mm-hmm. But to have a big sound to it, like, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
When we make our own Dune adaptation, I'll do that for the wipes. Every scene.
And Chani is like such an important character in the book. And here she's just like,
Barely in this movie.
yeah.
Barely in it.
And when she's just making out with
Yeah, I was like,
Paul,
is she
like-
actually like a character or is she just like a sex doll?
Is this not her
Yeah.
first scene, like real scene, not kissing Paul, besides
Well-
when she introduces herself as Liet's daughter?
I don't think she even
she pops
introduces
up
herself.
She
as
pops up
that.
in a no, yeah, she says
She does.
Does she?
Yeah.
but she pops up in a scene a little bit after that, and they're kissing, and then she does that, superimposed over the frame we're already seeing where they're kissing again. That's the second scene with Chani in it.
Yeah, and now they're making out. And what is going on with this? Oh my gosh, this scene makes me so mad. What is going on? So he decides this is the one where he's gonna drink the water of life, right?
Why are they in the desert doing it?
Well, yeah. Why are they tying him up? Why is it the day? Why does anybody else know about this? It's sacred water for a reason. Like he's not supposed to touch it.
Yeah. Again, just referring to the book, this is not how it happens at all.
And for obvious reasons, this is so stupid.
And I don't think there's anything about the scene that makes it any cooler than like doing it in like solitary, which is, from what I remember, that's kind of how it happens in the book. He kind of does it on his own.
Yeah, we don't even know. Like he's just been in a coma for a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
and then they kind of find him, and they're like, "Oh, is he dead? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
This doesn't. I mean, I guess they like skip ahead. There's gonna have all the worms pop up. Does that make
It's like so.
Does that make the scene any cooler? I don't think so. I think it makes it weird as hell.
It makes it so goofy. Like we already knew that. Like we've already established like what kind of character he is. You know, he is a Mary Sue. Like I don't really think we need the chorus of worms to validate his existence.
Yeah.
Or like his ascension. He literally came into another people group, and as like a 16-year-old or however like. Oh yeah, I love the fillings.
Yeah, I was like,
I was gonna say,
mad feelings, dude.
We're in the year.
Like, I
10
have 0, and like,
Yeah.
this is weird.
We're in the year 10,000. He's still got fillings.
Yeah, exactly. You think that like they put blue on everybody's eyes. You don't think they could have dabbed a little white on his teeth
Yeah. Let's paint that out.
for one moment, even. Ah, yes, and here all
Yeah.
of the worms bowing down to the God Emperor of Dune.
The Lisan al Gaib.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't
Her eyes
need to
aren't
hear
blue.
that.
Why?
Yeah, that too. These just remind me of the worms from Star Wars.
Like none of their
Like the
eyes are
big
blue.
one.
It's like don't give a
Oh, the one in
shit
the
half of the
asteroid?
time.
Yeah, why is he? And now he's crying blood because obviously he's Jesus. So that's whatever. And I don't know why Jessica shaved her head now.
I don't either because there's like stuff in the book that would suggest that she's still like a really active person. Like she doesn't become a Reverend Mother and then like she's like a
nun.
Fremen version of the Reverend Mother who's like she's not the same archetype as like the Reverend Mother who does the ceremony with Paul at the very beginning. Like she's not the same as that. She's like kind of a hybrid of it. So why would she shave her head and adopt like kind of that archetype? I think is odd.
Oh yeah, that was Gaius Helen Mohim. That Mohim.
Oh right.
That's what she was. But yeah, like she is kind of the same thing because they talk in the book about how the Bene Gesserit went around the entire galaxy or whatever the universe is, planting their prophecies and their religions for all of some greater plan that's never explained in the book yet. So
Yeah, your little scrote monster again.
oh my God, yeah,
Yep.
look at him vibing.
Just smegma and everything.
The hand thing. Yeah, it's just spreading the good smegma across the universe.
Now he's got his blue eyes again.
Yeah.
Does anyone else? Probably not. Oh, she does. Look at it.
Why did they hang out in the sun for 24 hours? I guess that's like, I don't know how long the suns are up, but they didn't move.
Yeah.
The whole time he was like, there's no footsteps.
Because like you said, it's like weeks or months that he's.
Yeah, it was like a month in the
Comatose,
book, but in here, like, oh, here
Again,
we go
I get-
again, Lion
yeah.
King. Father. I don't remember that in the book either. The sleeper has awakened. Does it matter? No. Is it goofy as shit? Yes. Why?
I know we're comparing this to Lion King, like some of those lines, but Lion King came out 10 years after.
That's what I mean. Lion King took it from them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
Which,
Dune.
That movie is actually, I mean, if you really look at it, like really bankrupt on ideas. It stole almost everything.
almost everything. Although they had some good songs.
And then the new one that came out is bankrupt on ideas because it literally is a carbon copy of the cartoon.
Except it took out all of the fun and charm. Like imagining like the song where Scar is singing with all of his hyenas, and it's just like it's just
weird.
it's just a Nat Geo documentary of a lion jumping around, and there's none of the set pieces, none of the choreography of the hyenas dancing, the colors, the smoke, the evilness. It's just
That was supposed to be kind of a callback to like Nazi Germany and like these are evil and everything, and you can identify with that because people recognize that symbolism, and they associate those things together, which is the point because Scar is evil, the hyenas are evil, and
and
they totally take that out of the movie, which I guess maybe the climate we're in now, you can't.
I mean, you could at least have like a warlike. Yeah, you could at least have like warlike marching. Like that's not specific to Nazi Germany. That's just to soldiers and militants in general.
Yeah,
like that. I don't see a problem with that. But the fact that they just were like, let's kind of have a little bit of a solo song for this dude, and he was just jump around and like. I think the biggest problem I have with that movie is that besides that, like none of the lions or animals emote anything. You absolutely could have created like realistic looking animals, but still given them like human.
I think that would actually look weird.
Emotions, but like I would have been like they don't mean anything then. Like there's no way to connect with these characters in a way that you connect with like Pixar characters. You know what I mean?
That's one thing I think about animation that really matters is you can anthropomorphize them in a way that doesn't distract you. I think if you do it with like a really kind of realistic looking lion, it doesn't look right. This scene is amazing to me. I actually thought my TV broke when it did that.
Why did that happen?
When it did the zoom in with the binoculars, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I thought I was gonna get all those lines in the TV and everything, and then I realized it was just a part of the scene. I thought it broke.
Yeah. And and then the whole discussion about atomics here, like obviously, which is important in the book because, like, I think what they said that they're not all it's not extreme taboo. It's like illegal to use atomics on people. So they justified it by saying they only used it on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. Which is weird. Of all the things, like all the betrayal and all like the nasty backhandedness that should be, considered like out of bounds. Apparently using atomics is like, that's the one thing that they landed on.
Yeah. Oh, and the music here is just terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Dragon Force. Play Dragon Force here.
Come on, yeah.
Like
through the fire and the flames. Like we're literally on a desert.
Lean into some hair metal right now. Like it would be
what is
awesome.
This? Yeah, what is this slow rock ballad jam? Oh my god, they're just all running along the word.
Like this is Poison. Every thorn or every rose has its thorn.
Yeah.
You need to get like the
Come on, Toto, step your fucking game up.
Get the metal of Poison in there. Like
yeah, exactly.
The other, we didn't really touch on this, but the Emperor, I'm not blaming the actor or anything like that, but could they find like a more grandpa looking guy to play him? This dude is not intimidating in any way.
No.
Yeah, okay, who's the in the book there's that other guy, one of the ones that he could have been the Kwisatz Haderach, Count Fenring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in this, is he?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Which is weird because it's very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
This movie doesn't need another guy in it.
Yeah, which is yeah. But of all the ones they decided to get rid of, and I think this is just.
So this is one thing I'm really worried about for the new movie because it doesn't work at all in this.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying, what is so odd to me is when you have children talk like adults, it's most of the time really off-putting and it immediately distracts me.
Get out of my mind.
And then the voice, like she's like missing teeth and stuff. It's so goofy. Like I have a niece that age. You can't be like that. It doesn't work.
Yeah. I think there are so many ways that this absolutely could have worked. Even with with how terrible the 80s are at film in general. You could have made this some type of convincing. But the fact that they have a dub of an adult like with lips that absolutely don't work.
They got like insulated like blankets
Yeah.
on. Like what are they wearing?
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Brigade. Yeah, I feel like they saw when did Ghostbusters came out? That was like 88 though.
So
right?
we've talked about Denis Villeneuve being like the auteur of style and how his movies have like this amazing aesthetic and everything seems to like be so coherent and like work well together. Nothing about this movie like they like you said they're wearing like marshmallow puff blankets. Like that looks stupid. There's nothing cool. We're supposed to connect and think these characters are like brave and heroes. They have like a quilted blanket on. It's so weird.
So technically, Ghostbusters came out in June 1984, and Dune came out in December 1984. So, canon, yes, those are Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suits.
Okay.
Because,
we're right.
the copying the success of Ghostbusters. I love, like how, like, you could tell she clearly has a lisp, too, with the way her bottom lip moves, but it's not in the vocal affect at all. Okay, here we go. This is, like, the only, I wouldn't say redeeming part. It's just, like, we just decide to make things so crazy. I don't know why the worms are above the ground like this, really. I don't know why they're, like, prehensile.
I love all of them with her. They got the reins, they're holding on. They're like, we're riding in.
Yeah.
On the slowest thing ever made. Like,
yeah.
Dude, look at that nose guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
Princess got a cool dress on. That's cool. It looks like almost like armor up top. That's a cool dress.
Yeah.
Again, I love the costumes in this movie. This is the part I'm talking about. This is we're coming up on a really weird Willy Wonka-esque scene.
I mean, here's a weird Willy Wonka-esque where they're jumping on the turrets and they're all like spinning around
Like
in
hopping
circles.
on like a motorcycle. It looks
yeah,
like,
it looks like a carnival game. Like let's
you know, like
the
when you
one
go to like Dave and Buster's.
Yes.
And you go to the racing game. That's exactly what it looks like.
yes, exactly. Or I was thinking of like those ones where you like squirt water at the little hole at the carnival. Yeah. That's what it looks like they're doing. Okay, and now this is where it just like cranks it up to 10 and is so dumb.
It almost seems like they don't even really use the worms.
Yeah, why are they even on the worm if they're just going to shoot
They're just going to shoot, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the worm's like, this hurts. Yeah, cha!
Yeah.
Oh, man, this movie's wild.
Yeah, they're all shooting it like from their gut. Like they're just like
That was
penis
kind of
guns.
cool. It looked like a dummy right there. I mean, obviously the way he kind of blew up, but it looks like they actually had charges in that dummy because the way he fell apart.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
his like
see
head
that.
like
actually-
rolled away and stuff.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool.
Too busy wiping the tears from my eyes from the laughter and the pain. What is going on here? Like, why can't they shoot the people? Those are the only ones.
Why
Like,
can't they shoot the people?
like they're just so terrible. Like,
Because they're too focused on the giant worm penis thing, dude.
The idea that the Emperor would be on a turret being like, better get out there, you know.
yeah,
It's so odd. Like, yeah, that whole scene of them getting on that weird carousel is so weird.
exclaims. Oh, look at all of the tiny little people ants moving down there. Like, why are they just chop, chop?
What the
Why is he screaming at her? Like, what? I don't remember any of that, like, being, like, them having, like, any mind control anything.
Well, no, it's like you can influence people.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're, like, Muad'Dib. Oh. But I don't remember them being, like, able to talk to other people, like, put their voices into other people's minds.
Oh, no, I don't think that. No, you are right.
Yeah, so it's just,
Like being in his mind. I guess I
yeah.
I didn't
yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
catch what you meant there. Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh, no. Like,
That's the whole point of the voice is like, you know, it's like something you had to utter, but then like you can have some kind of resistance to it, but yeah.
I love how, like, they explode sometimes, and sometimes it's just knocked down.
This is going on so long.
Yeah, it is.
You hear the score pick up back again, you know?
Yeah.
This is like kind of the big epic kind of sound they have.
Like, I like that melody there. It's cool. It's not deserved.
Yeah. This is it. This is we're coming up. This is the Willy Wonka moment.
It almost looks like she's, like, put a spell on him.
Yeah.
And she's spinning him
Yeah.
around and, like,
Like a basketball.
It gets so
what's-
much better too.
what's with the fist pump? What?
This is the best part of the whole movie coming up.
I love how we see that now that her hair is red,
Yeah.
which is, another frustrating part. Like,
I love this so much.
Just like, I caught him.
Gulp.
You know,
So funny.
like, everyone's smiling. We did it.
We did it, guys.
We did it.
The Emperor and his earring are devastated.
Yeah. But yeah, again, like, Jessica is Harkonnen. Like, obviously her hair is red. I thought that was fun that they left that there for us. What is this?
Yeah,
Aaliyah just
why?
like bathing in the blood of her enemies, like with the crysknife and just standing out on the sand. Why? But yeah, like, I like how they left Jessica's hair red because she's Harkonnen, and then
It's just bowling balls? No, okay.
bowling balls. Oh,
I was like waiting for someone to like pick one up and like they just like keep falling down. It's like loading up.
Dude, they do. They look just like bowling balls.
Oh,
That is so funny.
these set pieces. No, Jack Nance is still around. We never even gave that character a name.
Okay, this fight scene coming up has the worst sound design ever of any fight scene of all time.
I love just seeing Jack Nance in the back, like just
fucking looks depressed.
Yeah, the way he holds, it's like. Oh my gosh.
Ah!
So everyone saved their emotions for the end of this. Like, well, I guess she's been kind of that Reverend Mother of she's been kind of over the top for a bit. So
Yeah.
at least that stayed consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a lot of other characters did.
Which is crazy because like there's very reserved characters in the book.
Yeah, she seems like so calculated about everything she does.
All of them do.
Yeah.
And the fact that they like keep reacting like in these like stereotypical Hollywood woman ways, like I'm deranged or I'm mad or like I have, what is it? Oh, there's a term that I'm thinking of specifically.
They brought their little drums to battle? Like those, they must have had them with them.
Yeah. Why is she still standing there? Back up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Those eyebrows, oh boy. I hadn't seen them in a while, forgot.
Still don't really like understand why Sting is here. Like I don't know why you cast Sting in general. Like I don't know what you think.
I just bit him. I forgot that happened.
I just don't know what the consensus around what Sting was in the 80s that would put him in this movie.
The thing is, like, almost like people in the background don't even seem like they're really engaged in what's happening.
Yeah. None of them care.
They have like a blank stare.
Paul.
Like Patrick Stewart a little bit cares.
My God, back up. Has no one seen a fight
I love
before?
that spin around.
Yeah.
It just like right on his crotch. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, like why is that the place that we chose to put the camera
Right.
for that
I have
spin?
no idea.
So I mean, that felt like a stereotypical line, you know?
Yeah.
Like but that actually works, you know? Like they're stereotypical and expected, but all of the other ones we saw are stereotypical and really, really bad and out of place. I don't know how you do that. It's so strange to me. I don't understand why we've ever talked about bending like, yeah, okay, so he kills him.
So my big problem with this fight, and there's not really a lot of music going on, and it's just you hear like all of the sounds, like it's like wha-pow, wha-psh, psh, psh,
Yeah.
of all the hits and everything. Like that's like the sound to this whole scene.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god! His eyes like turn all white and everything.
deep. Oh, and then we got to finish off with the.
Look at the little girl walking around. So odd.
It's a cute little costume.
I'm genuinely like, how are they going to handle that in the new versions? Because I think it doesn't work in this at all.
I kind of hope like she doesn't speak at all, like
Yeah.
or move her mouth, but there's like a voice that's not weird.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it because it sucks in this.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some ratings on it already. It looks like it's like 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I give a shit about that. But
Yeah, I just care about my opinion. That's about it. Oh, I care about your opinion and Jaden's opinion. I also care about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metacritic gives it a 75%.
Dude, you guys are weirding. You're
Yeah.
a weirding module right now.
I mean, Metacritic gives it a 75%, so that's in line with all of other Denis movies. So it's no worse than Arrival. That's not okay.
Which I didn't
it's
like.
Yeah, I guess that's not a good. So it still might look and sound
Okay.
like fun and be terrible in like a script way.
So I'm genuinely like concerned about how this movie ends because it just starts like raining on them, you know?
Yeah, and we're not playing Toto's Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was it not? Yeah. It must have rained down in Africa.
Yeah, but the fact
Jaden,
that
why
just,
didn't
like,
you score this?
Huh, I should have.
I wish those people would just be freaking out. Like that would be like, seeing snow for the first time.
Yeah, like no one knows how to act in this movie. No one knows how to act.
Yeah, they're like, oh, water from the sky. They're just like, hey, this is weird.
That lady's face is her. She's
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Yeah, she's like, okay, can we cut?
That's it. Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie. Oh,
And more waves.
I will say
Oh.
this has probably the best credit scene. I think I love the
It's like-
introduction of everyone. I think it's kind of neat.
And it's like absolutely okay. Like
The
totally.
Baron's doctor, who's for like one scene.
Why is that the second character they
it's in
introduced?
alphabetical order.
Oh
I think it's
yeah.
by like maybe order of appearance. Is it alphabetical?
It's in alphabetical order. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's Linda. Hunt.
Shout out, Mapes.
Esna Mode. Yeah.
Shout out to Mapes.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
because
was-
this feels like Days of Our Lives. Like at this.
It
point.
does.
Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah. No. The credits feel very special. They feel like very unique to this
yeah.
movie. I think
we need to give Toto more of a voice.
Yeah.
It comes in the credits.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. This feels very.
I didn't mean that like it is a good thing though.
Oh, okay. It at least sounds like them. I cannot believe they scored this. That's amazing to me.
Yeah. Oh, that electric guitar right there is terrible. I don't even. Is he ever even referred to as the Beast Raban in
I don't think so.
in this movie? Like I know in the book. Yeah.
Sting.
Yeah, I don't know that they. He tells him he's like, squeeze them, Raban. Like, get the spice, Raban. I don't know if he says the beast, Raban, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, Max von Sydow, the only character worth.
It is kind of neat because all that imagery of the waves is from like the Atreides homeworld.
Caladan.
Yeah, Caladan. So it's like, God, we're gonna say things different when we do the other Dune review. That'll be the
The
definitive-
actual.
Yeah, yeah. When we get to the real movie,
the real Dune that's coming out. All right, do we have an idea on how we want to rate this one?
Chaz.
Just weirding module sounds. Like
Yeah, exactly. I give it whatever you want to. Yeah, Muad'Dib's Chisaz.
Let's do Chaz.
Yeah, I like Chaz. I'm gonna stylize that, but I think they got the subtitles wrong, like that. CHYAAAAAH.
There you go. That's much better.
Yeah.
Actually, a few less than that because that's too many. So,
Yeah.
I can't give it that many points. Yes, this is terrible.
it's
It's like a fever dream. Like honestly, the number of, like I don't
You're
know
so right.
how many images we overlapped with each other. Like the number of sounds we overlapped with things. How I can't see a single human element in this entire film,
Right. No. Yeah.
or even an engaging
Fever
story.
dream is a great way to put it because the whole time.
That guy's name is Dickie Beer.
Nice.
That guy's probably awesome.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Jane, what do you think of this one?
It's bad. I'll give it like a fucking. I'll give it a 2.1. Jazz. I mean, there's some parts that keep you interested in 1 second or two in this movie.
Yeah, like oh, that's odd in a
Yeah.
novel way. Oh, we're gonna keep doing it though.
Sure. That's yeah.
Um,
Odd in a novel way is a great way
some
to
of the
describe
practical,
this film.
yeah, some of the practical effects are cool. That might be the worst acting I've seen,
Right. Yeah.
and I only know
Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib.
He got really sensual about it.
It's probably the worst Willy Wonka sequel I've seen. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Worse than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not a Johnny Depp guy, so
Wow, that's pretty serious. My big problem is I just think no one acted in this because they were just like, we're gonna do narration later.
yeah.
So like, everyone, it feels totally phoned in, this whole movie.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like Blade Runner did that. So there's multiple cuts of Blade Runner where there are some without narration, some with it, but it's like it still felt like they acted in it.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to be characters, and then just like one version of it was like add a narration because we don't think the story is coming across right. This felt like don't even worry about acting because the real story is going to come across in the like internal dialogue, and that sucks
Yeah,
It sucks
yeah.
because I don't watch a movie for internal dialogue.
No.
I want to see an actor act. I want to see a scene play out. And it's awful in this.
Yeah, I also don't think we actually learn anything from any of the voiceovers. Like, if you actually took all of that information out of the film, I don't think it's any different.
Man, that'd be great to do an edit of this and take it all out and be like, is this movie coherent?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Or is it equally as coherent as this movie? Because I don't even think this movie is very coherent. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't even follow its
No.
own like canon. It doesn't
No.
even follow its own story setup. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is like campy and fun enough for like an '80s movie, but it's only like three, like a score of 3 campy. Like it doesn't land. It's not. It's a 3 to me.
Yeah. It's a slog. I was genuinely, the first time I watched this, like, I was so bored watching. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
no,
gosh.
I literally like fell asleep for like 12 seconds. There,
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah, just now. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, reliving the moments, like putting me to sleep. Yeah. I mean, the pace that we move is amazing that it's so boring.
Yeah,
How
right.
can you manage that? Yeah. So this
Like,
is
how can you fit such a huge book into 2 hours and still be boring as all fuck?
Fuck.
Yeah,
Like, it's terrible.
and throw as much as of the book into this movie as you possibly can. But yeah, so this
And
is like,
even add stuff to it.
yeah. What? And I don't know how you can add stuff that doesn't help you at all and take away things that you
It's
really
kind of
needed.
amazing.
Yeah.
I do love the vacuuming scene at the very beginning.
What
The
is
vacuuming
that?
of all the
smegma?
mess, all the smegma. That's kind of, it's just so goofy.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, so like, yeah, all my points for this movie come from out of the goofiness of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Calvin, you didn't rate this one.
Yeah, so it's a 1.3 chas for me.
All right, well, yeah, I think we're ready to wrap this one up.
I've been
Yeah.
I think we've been ready to wrap this up since
yeah.
like
I was
couple
Like
hours
2
ago.
hours
Yeah.
and 16 minutes ago, to be precise.
That was that was a lot of fun for us though. I think we got a lot of jokes in it because once we stopped watching the movie, like we enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I'll never regret Three Boys One Couch because I get to hang out with you guys and talk about how it kind of sucks sometimes when we get a crappy one and all we can do is talk about how bad it is. So
I don't know. I think that's kind of like the fun of it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's true. I'd like to pick a good one at some
Yeah,
point.
but I think-
We did Kung Fury, dude.
Yeah. I
oh, we
think,
did love Kung Fu.
Yeah.
I think fun ones are harder, or I mean, good ones are harder to have.
Because you
fun
want to
with
pay
Nick
attention.
Jones.
Yeah, because I actually want to watch it.
Yeah, I want to just gush the whole time. Like, man, when I listen back to some of our podcasts, and I love. Yeah, I'm sitting there just like.
Don't make that noise. All right, with that, I'm your host Connor. Got my co-host Jaden. Hey, you should have been like cha, and former guest Calvin. And you've been listening to Three Boys One Couch.